actually buy the micro switches for them.
Yeah, Logitech are all workable. Yeah,
I'm alive.
razors too. I'm pretty sure if you, I don't know whether you can self-fix it, but you might be able to get it done at a store.
Cheaper to buy a new mouse.
Don't try and rewire a left-handed razor mouse to a right-handed. It don't work.
No.
All right, guys, we're live and in colour, kinda, sorta. Hello, everybody. Oh shit, my voice went a bit funny then. That was weird. But we're here on a Wednesday. I'm hoping everyone is doing well this evening. Thank you, players, for showing up for another episode of The Lost Mines. Yes, we're just talking about technological stuff. What's up, Mina? Trashy's having mouse issues, and he has like 400 mice on his desk because he can't decide which one he wants to use.
I have two. One's the gaming mouse with the heavy click. The other one's the quieter mouse, which I can do scrolling and stuff.
I think you might have to upgrade, mate, and buy a cat.
Oh shit. Anywho,
why did the drought want to be a comedian?
up.
for the loft?
Oh well, fuck me. Oh, we started something.
Another joke.
Playing JJ.
Oh shit! Mean to clip that one. Me telling you to fuck off. Oh good. Anyway, let's actually get into some semblance of D&D this evening. Welcome, chat. Obviously, my name's Evldoa, and we are playing Lost Mines of Phandelver. This is our next episode, and our story. Grim with resub. Look at that, 21 months, dude. Holy shit, it's a while. Anyone would think you liked me or something. I don't know why. But anywho,
there's no dwarves in the party, is there?
No dwarves. So keep your jokes to yourself, Jack.
But this one's
no
a
more
good
jokes.
one.
No more jokes. No more jokes from you, young man. And Mina dropping a resub as well. 30 months. Holy jeebus. You guys have been around for a long time. I don't. It doesn't seem that long.
You didn't say how I had to stop.
You son of a bitch. I'm gonna ban Trashy from the chat. I think a character death might be happening this evening, guys. You never know. Oh, it's my birthday. I don't know what to do with this information. Well, happy born day. May your loots all be epics and roll many d20s. But happy birthday, Phantom. But anywho, so obviously we have Trashman the Annoying sitting next to me here playing Zankus Torfellow.
You're welcome.
These guys reached level 2 at the end of last session too, guys, or just before the end of last session. So I have leveled them up. You'll see their stats change on the overlay. It'll let you know what level they are. Some of their HP has increased. Unfortunately, Zankus rolled low got low on his and got like 2. So he went from 8 to 10.
Yay!
But everyone else seems to have done reasonably well on their HP. And they made it all the way to Phandalin without dying, which is always good. So we're going to get into our recap and pick that up there. Before we do, obviously we have JJ Aussie Punk over there in the corner playing Youngblood, the Furbog Fighter. Below me here we have Mr. Grim Realities playing Arcos Puck, the Herengon Rogue, and then at the bottom corner there Mr. Eric Code playing the Owlin Cleric. Not Doctor Who. Not a doctor.
No doctor.
So with that, we will prepare ourselves. We'll get some moose hack going, because I did turn the moose hack off. And we will get into tonight's recap for you guys. So last we had left off, you had followed a blood trail which led from where you had found dead horses in the road and were ambushed by goblins, leading away in drag marks in the dirt and grass, which led you to a small creek, in turn led you to a cave. Bunch of thickets outside said cave. You heard the mutterings of not sure what it was at that point until who? heard what was being said, and as one who spoke Goblin, was able to determine that these two sentries weren't exactly paying attention and were arguing over a scrap of food, which enabled you to get the upper hand, killing one, taking the other one alive initially, and then after a little bit of an interrogation, you exploded his brain with some lightning, which made for a bit of a gooey mess, but it worked. You discovered that you were definitely dealing with goblins. You fed those goblins to the wolves that were on the interior of the cave as you entered, to sate them and maybe not have them alert the entire cave of your presence, which it seemed they did not. Thank you, Grim, for the gifted sub for Phantom. Appreciate that very, very much. From there, you made your way deeper into the cave following the creek, and you found a steep embankment which you eventually decided to climb, doing so with relative quietness, one would say, and happening upon a small chamber where several goblins and a hobgoblin and a prisoner were being held. Some very quick planning on your part, and astute planning at that, led you to dispatch said goblins relatively quickly, which left the hobgoblin, without many allies as you eventually destroyed him. One of you, I believe, got rather hurt during that battle. Well, a couple of you got hurt, but one was rather low. And you spent a little bit of time healing yourselves, potions and whatnot, before Arcos took a sneaky walk around the chamber, around the corridor to the north of the chamber, and very deftly dispatches another patrol, single goblin, single arrow, base of the neck, rendering him dead immediately. From there, you proceed forward, crossing the ramshackle bridge. Hearing a waterfall echoing through the cavern, you happen across several more goblins, the sound of the waterfall masking their dispatch, as you once again, with pretty adept planning, managed to dispatch them very quickly. Eventually, you getting close to the waterfall, you found a large set of natural stairs leading into an open cave with a fire lit in the center. Spying a couple more goblins, it was decided, I can't remember exactly who decided to do it, but it was decided that a goblin body was to be thrown into this cave as a distraction, which worked very, very well. The goblins were ordered by Clark, the leader of this troop, to investigate, and as they did so, they were both dealt with rather swiftly. This left Clark and his wolf. You entered the chamber, surrounding him, and eventually bringing him to defeat. Not before Arcos took a pretty nasty blow and was almost brought to his knees. However, quick thinking from Youngblood, intercepting an attack that would have otherwise killed him, kept him alive. After the defeat of Clark, you did a bit of a search of this area and found that these particular goblins had been pillaging the Treeball Trail for quite some time, it seems. A lot of supplies, many of them stamped with Barthen's provisions on the crates, were here, and a few other bits and pieces, some gold and things. You then decided that maybe you should spend the night. You guys had taken a bit of damage, and it had been a rough day. So you spent the evening. Through the course of the evening, nothing really happened. The cave was secure. The sound of the waterfall was soothing to some, not so much to others. Upon the next morning, you took a single crate of the Barthen's provisions as proof that this is where these supplies would be held, maybe looking for a reward perhaps. You also took some loot with you and went back looking for your own provisions that you had stashed before entering into this little endeavor. Freeing the wolves as you did leave, seems that the feeding them was a prudent idea, and as upon releasing them, they seemed not ungrateful and did not try and eat your faces off and went about their business. From there, you found that your supplies were still where you'd left them, your cart and ox still where you had tied them and left them also. Reloading your wagon and setting out along the Treebor Trail once more, you headed eastward and then southward towards the mining village of Phandalin. And pretty much this is where we now rejoin you guys as you enter. Just going to get rid of these before we do this. Yoink. As you enter Phandalin, I'm going to turn this over here so everyone can see it. So you guys are at the top of the map there. We'll just zoom in a little bit. So you guys are at the top of the map here. You've just entered into the township of Phandalin. I'd say, I think we discussed last time that, or off camera perhaps, some of you would have been here once or twice before. Some of you haven't. Some of you obviously heard about it but don't know much about the town. You know that this is a bit of a rough town at the very least. You have been given a little bit of information. You're not entirely sure exactly where you need to go, but you know that Barthen's Provisions at least is what you're looking for. So as you come off the Treebor Trail, the rutted track emerges from the wooded hillside and you catch your first glimpse of this town, Phandalin. The town consists of about 40 or 50 simple log buildings, nothing too extravagant. Some built on old fieldstone foundations, more on old ruins. Crumbling stone walls covered in ivy seem to surround the village from what you can see. As you enter into the township itself, the first building you come to, even though you're not entirely sure where you're going, there's a big wooden sign out the front. Barthen's Provisions. Funnily enough, this is exactly where you need to go for your first stop into Phandalin, as you have a large wagon loaded full of supplies destined for Barthen's Provisions. You also have an extra crate which you found in the Cragmore hideout, which is stamped with Barthen's Provisions. The road, sort of as you get towards this big building, the road starts to widen into more of a muddy street. There's been a bit of rain in the last few days, and nothing like Neverwinter, which has cobbled streets and large buildings, a lot more built up, way bigger in population, of course. But as you approach, as you can see a few people in the street just wandering about their own business. A family look to be human, small child, and the small child sort of looks up and stares at you for a little bit longer than the others. Arcos, he seems sort of tug on his parents, sort of jerking points and sort of giggles and looks. And the parent bend down and looks like they're giving some sort of explanation, perhaps too far away for you to understand what they're saying, but you get the impression that they may not have seen a Herringon before, perhaps. Who knows? So I'll turn it back over to you guys now as you get a little closer to the Barthen's Provisions, just outside, approaching the building. I'll turn it over to the players.
Bastion of civilization, it's not. It's like a pile of rubble, mostly. But I believe this is the place we'll be able to get our money.
The sooner we get in there, the sooner we get paid, the sooner I can leave you lot.
Yeah,
rude.
sounds pleasant enough.
Let's go get this arsehole's money then, eh?
Eh.
So, what are we up to? We're pulling up the oxen and entering Barthen's provisions, I assume?
Yeah.
So, as you lead the oxen up to the front of the building, you can see a bit of a hitching post here, which might be for horses perhaps, but you tie off the oxen to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And as you walk up the steps onto, you sort of imagine like almost these are all sort of log buildings, but imagine like the old western towns. You got the wooden boardwalks, like almost extending the town. It's similar here, but it's just around the building. It's got a bit of a veranda on the front of the building, bit of an awning on the front. So you up the wooden steps, they creak heavily underfoot as you head towards the front door of Barthen's Provisions. You're just about to grab the handle and open it, and the door swings open, almost violently, gets pulled out of your hand as it swings inward. And two rather large individuals push out. What order would you say you guys were in, sort of walking up to the front of the Barthen's Provisions? Who would you say was in front?
I'll be
Nah,
second.
not who. He'd be in the back.
Thanks, Grim. So,
I resemble that remark, and I agree.
which of you would be in front then?
Probably Arcos, because the rest of them can't talk worth a damn.
Okay, so Arcos, as you reach out to grab the handle to open the door, like I said, it gets almost reached out of your hand, and two individuals, one of them probably a good 6'2", the other one around 6 foot, broad-shouldered, wearing reasonable like armor, sort of leather. One's wearing sort of heavy leather armor, looks like it metal studs across the front of it. The other one looks like he might be wearing a chain shirt under a bit of a hood and cloak, and almost sort of knocking you to one side as they step through, and the bigger one turns you out of the way and sort of keeps walking through. Do you say anything as he...
Oh, gee willikers, mister, you must be super important. Like a small child. Because I look like a small child.
Yeah, you probably would do. He sort of stops, looks down at you, sort of his friend sort of just gives him that tap on the chest, like come on, and pays you no attention. Sort of gives all of you a bit of a look up and down as these two individuals step down. One of them's human. You can definitely see that. The other one maybe looks like he might be possibly half orc, perhaps. Very sort of ashen grey skin. You can see what would be probably just the point of tusks, perhaps. Like he's probably more human than orc, but he has that sort of half orc look about him. All of you would have seen half orcs before. He definitely has that real built sort of large shoulders. He's the shorter of the two, but he seems to be wider through the shoulders. Both fairly well armed. One's carrying the half orc's carrying a large battle axe slung across his back. You see a multitude of daggers on his belt and across, almost like a bandolier. He's got several daggers there as well. And the human is carrying a shield slung on his back and a large, looks like maybe a scimitar or a similar type Saracen type weapon. But they sort of give the up and sort of once over and then carry on and head down the street, leaving you to enter Barthen's Provisions.
So I whisper in sort of lean over towards Youngblood and say to him, did you see that weird looking orc? He's still got his baby teeth, mate.
Yeah, I've seen it. Hopefully we don't have to run into them guys again. Seem a bit grumpy.
Yeah, looks like they've got arseholes in this town too. You fit right in, Blue Boy. Let's get about our business so you can be about yours, eh?
So, as you walk into this establishment, it's a good-sized building. looks to be well stocked. It seems to be, I mean, it is the largest trading post in Phandalin, probably the only decent trading post here, it seems. It's stocked with pretty ordinary goods. It doesn't look like they carry, just to give you a quick glance around, doesn't look like they carry any weapons of any description. It's general trade goods. You can see packs sort of hung up on a wall, on a shelf. Below that, in another set of shelving, you've got there's rope, there's all manner of just general goods. You do see a older gentleman. He's sort of leaning down over the counter. Looks like he's cleaning something up. Looks like something might have gotten broken. He's sort of down, sort of half, sort of propping himself up on the counter and sort of picking something up off the floor. And he sort of stands up. You see him put some stuff up on, back up onto the shelf on the counter there. He sort of dusts himself off and turns around. Well, welcome. Come on in. Good morrow. My name is Elmer Barton, and this is my establishment. Please come in.
With
and he continues to sort of pick a few things up as you guys approach.
Humans. We've got some crates, some supplies. We supposed to be dropping off here. Rockhead? No. Rock Seeker.
Oh yes. Gundren, my good friend Gundren Rockseeker. Yes. He did mention that he would be sending folk. Sildar stopped by yesterday and said that he's...
the old man got here. Oh,
said,
good.
Did you manage to find him at all? He said that he'd gone missing. It's quite disturbing. Please come in. So he sort of looks around a bit, and he said, where are you? And after a couple of sort of a little brief moment, a young man, maybe in his 20s, early 20s, comes through the back door, through the curtain behind the counter, fairly stocky. So this is Mr. Barton. Yes. Hello. The cart of supplies has arrived. Grab Thistle and bring it round back and start unloading, if you will, please. I'll write you up. And he
one
heads back
crate's
out.
mine. Don't touch it.
You have personal crates on there. Well, I suggest you get your personal belongings from the cart there. Excuse me, I just have to pick this up. And you bend down. You can see now what he's been picking up. There's a couple of broken jars, which had some random things in them. And as you sort of look down where he was, a whole bunch of stuff sort of been just knocked off the counter. It's been strewn all over the floor. And he's muttering to himself as he's picking this stuff up.
So Arcus sort of he turns around and looks at the three of his companions. And he's like, big fella, you know how we found the rest of that stuff? You sort it out, I'll go outside. I don't think these other two are probably up to it. No offense. And I'll head outside. To make sure my crate doesn't get touched. Don't touch my crate.
So
You made you leader.
I did just now, but you can have it if you like. I don't mind. I'm going to get my stuff.
I don't want it. I'll just listen to you. He'll go off and do his thing, he's been told.
Alright, so I just popped up a picture of Elmer Barton for you. So he's an elderly gentleman, and probably looks to be in his early to mid 50s, thinning hairline, pretty disheveled looking. He seems relatively polite, but he has that kind of grumpy old man look about him too, like he almost like that fatherly figure kind of feel to him. And he sort of turns his Arcos as you head out to retrieve your crate, or the other crate from the wagon. he says, "Hey, if you wouldn't mind," and he sort of turns to the three of you. Would you mind could you give me a hand picking up these bloody ruffians? He says as he sort of picks up a few more bits and pieces off the floor.
Youngblood's already outside helping with the crates.
Okay. The other two, what are you guys doing?
Where's the gold promised?
Is that what you say to him?
Yep.
He gives you a bit of a look, and he says, yes, your type. It's all about the gold. First, I'll have to inspect the goods to make sure that they're all there and in good order before you get your gold.
Is there a place I can stay? Seeing this sounds like it's going to take a while to do anyway.
There's a couple of there's the Stonehill Inn. If you are really looking to stay.
Not particularly, but you sound like you're going to take a while.
And if you're that way inclined, Sleeping Giant as well, perhaps, although you would get yourself in trouble there, I would suspect.
Sounds interesting.
Interesting is one way of putting it, my dear fellow. But don't know if I trust this one. However,
I'm gonna press him about the comment about the thugs and all the smashed stuff on the floor and everything knocked off the counter.
So what are you going to say to him as far as inquiring about that?
Is basically try and get some more information out of him about why all the stuff was broken and the comment about thugs and just that happened at the time when he was making that comment after they'd left.
He looks make a persuade. Hang on a moment. We'll get a roll here, eh? We'll get a roll from you. Let's see, combat turn. To add in. Got no tokens on here. So I'll get you to make a persuasion roll for me. So it's from your sheet. Find the persuasion, please. Because he seems a little bit hesitant to talk around Zankus at this
persuasion.
point. Persuasion, yes, please. Not very good. You sort of press him. So do you ask him directly about the two thugs that left, or just about how the destruction happened?
Yeah, about the two thugs that walked out and whether they were the ones that instigated all the broken stuff on the floor and his comments about thugs in town.
He looks at you and then he side eyes Zankus, and he says, well, people like him, he says as he sort of nods towards Zankus. Unruly types. Think they own, they own everything.
So they're just like our resident arsehole. Okay.
And that's about all you get from him at this point.
Thank you.
And he continues picking stuff up, and then eventually he picks up the bulk of it, grabs a broom, sweeps the remainder away.
I turned to who said, get more information out of him. I'll see you outside. And I leave the building.
Who is left in the building with the...
And as he turns his back with that comment of get more information, I give him a salute and go, yes sir, under my breath.
Duly noted. We will just leave you there briefly. We'll head outside. Arcos, you head outside to retrieve the extra Bathans provisions crate that you had procured from Cragmore hideout. Youngblood has come out with you and is helping the two young individuals. They've moved the ox away from the turnstile, the hitching post, and towards the end of the Bath and Provisions, almost like a barn area there. So they've sort of moved it into there and they're unloading, checking the supplies, making sure they're all there. And but you now have your little crate with you. What you decide to do with that is up to you. But you do notice again as you sort of look around. Give me a quick perception check, Arcos, as you sort of, I dare say you'd be a little more aware of what's happening around you with specifically your background too. And just this little bit of a run-in with these individuals. Not bad. As you're sort of looking around before you, whether you re-enter or not, it's up to you, but before you do it, sort of move back towards the building. Down the street, you can see the same two individuals have stopped a man in the street. You're not sure what race the man is. It's probably about 30 or 40 feet down the street, but they seem to be giving him a little bit of a hard time, from what you can tell. Doesn't look like they're definitely not attacking him, but you get a little bit of a push and shove here and there, and you catch just on the ear the slight raised voice sort of scenario going on. Can't make out what they're saying. But there's definitely a bit of a minor altercation going on with these same two individuals.
And sort of just notes it is like, not my problem at the moment. And then he'll look over to Youngblood. He said, I thought you were going to stay inside. You left Giggle and Hoot in there? What the fuck were you thinking? I mean, Hoot may be alright, but fucking Chucklehead, he probably pissed off that old man. Just trying to get money here.
We'll get the money. These two youngins want to be able to do the crates.
I'm what they get
Make it
paid
faster.
for.
Made it faster. I'm a nice bloke, you know.
Yeah, Youngblood, right? I mean, I feel like you've earned me calling you by your name, mate. You saved my fuzzy little ass. There's no denying it.
Oh, I appreciate it, but you still got me bugs.
I don't care. I better go inside and mitigate whatever damage that blue arsehole's done.
And at that point, that blue arsehole exits the front of the Bath and Provisions and walks outside as you're heading back in.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how badly did you fuck up?
Asking him about the two customers he had before.
Right. Probably charming. After that experience. And I will walk in.
So you walk back in, and he's just at this point he's just picked up the last of the stuff, broken stuff off the floor, and he's dusted himself. He's moved back round now to the counter itself, or the counter type area. It's not like the typical shop counter. It's almost just like a table. And it's sort of where he sort of stands and conducts the bulk of his business. And he spies you coming back in, and he goes, right, so is there anything else I can help you with before we conclude our business?
I don't think. You've got some rough characters in town. I feel like we've added to that population by at least one. I apologise, but the gentleman we walked in to coming in, I think they might have been roughing some bloke up down the street.
Yes, yes. Well, he sort of looks over your shoulder. Come closer. Come, and he sort of waves you both closer.
Moving closer.
Between you and I mean, you seem like relatively trustworthy. Well, not such assholes like your blue friend. But Red Brand is the name of those particular fellows. I don't know their actual names, but they are part of a group. They call themselves the Red Brands. They kind of run things around here. Well, they think they run things around here. They come in once a month and demand gold for security, like to stop ruffians like you from roughing us up, if you will. Rather bothersome if you ask me. Do more damage than they protect, and you see he's really kind of out of sorts about the whole thing. And he sort of quickly changes the subject. Well, tell me more about Gundren. Did you find him, perhaps, or at least where he might have been? Sildar was rather worried, and so am I, for that matter. He's a good customer and has spent a lot of gold here and time here in Phandalin, and it would be quite saddened that he's gone missing.
Feathers, you had that note from those goblin fellas, right? Did I have anything about our dwarven patron? And I can't remember. He doesn't seem to remember either. We didn't find him, though.
No, didn't. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
You're good, bud. So you just asked about the note that you found at the cave.
Yeah, so I'll pull the note out and I'll hand it to Argos to do whatever he wishes to do with, maybe pass it on to Barton.
I mean, I think the note indicated maybe they might have taken him somewhere else. I mean, he definitely wasn't in the cave, and we didn't see any, pardon, the morbidity of dwarven remains.
Young blood walk in.
Some castle or something they've taken him to.
Castle? Well, could they be talking about Cragmore, perhaps?
That's the one. I've lost my bit of paper. Sorry.
That old ruin. Why would they take him there? Maybe Nudro and Tharden might know more. The rocks. Forgive me. Gundren's brothers. The Rockseeker clan, brilliant miners in their own right. Gundren was so excited about some mine that he'd found, and he was very excited to get out there and get started, and like a giddy schoolgirl, one would say, kind of disconcerting. But his brothers camped somewhere outside of town. I'm not entirely sure where. But they should. I'm expecting them to return in a day or two to get more supplies for themselves. Perhaps they normally come in every few days. If you wish to maybe find out more, you could talk to them. Although Sildar is still here in town. He's at the inn. Maybe you should go speak with him. But yes. But beware, be careful around the Red Brands. Don't antagonize them any more than you must. It would make things difficult for other people in Phandalin. You understand?
I mean, we understand. I mean, me and Feathers here and Big Green. I'm a bit worried about. Speaking of which, we should probably go, just on that fact alone.
Just one more piece of advice. Steer clear of the Sleeping Giant tap house. That's where the Red Brands hang out, and go to Stonehill if you wish, looking for food and a place to stay. Much more pleasant environment.
You finished with the crates out there, young blood?
I've walked in. I'm finished.
He's
walking
standing
in.
behind you as you
Oh,
turn
shit.
around.
Don't sneak up on me, mate. I don't know how you
was
did that,
talking-
really.
was talking before, mate. I tried to help. I yelled out it's a castle and everything. I yelled out I was here.
I must have got used to you yammering. That's all right.
Yeah, that's fair. I yammer a lot.
We should go and make sure, like, we don't cause any untoward problem. If you get what I mean, gentlemen.
Yeah, get Blue Man out of here for you. Makes the town worse.
Maybe we might be able to find one of these other dwarves. Dwarves, they never stop at just one, do they? There's like usually 7 brothers and 8 sisters, and I don't get it. Big families, it's weird. Anyway, we should go.
Yeah. See ya.
So you want to sort the gold later? That's fine. Is it fine? Are we good with that?
Yes, I just have to take inventory of the wagon, and if you come back in a few hours, we will be able to make good on Gundren's payment. I believe it was. So you see, it scratches his head, and then he reaches into his jacket, pulls out a small sort of flip notepad, goes through it, a few pages, and 50 gold pieces, I believe it was in total. Give me a couple of hours and you come back and we should be able to settle up.
And I get the feeling, since my big friend here walked out with me, and Feathers hasn't been very talkative today, did our blue friend happen to tell you that we found some more of your goods in a cave on the way, and we couldn't like bring it all with us? It's there and it's secure.
No, he did not.
That sounds about right.
I mean, to be completely frank, I wasn't overly interested in talking to him, really, but kind of reminds me of the red brands, to be frank. One of those types, anyway. But you say you found supply. Do you know where, like exactly where? Could you mark it on a map, perhaps?
Yeah, just pop out a map and we'll...
So he reaches down below the counter and drags out a map. It's rolled up, and he unrolls it, and he puts a couple of weights that he's got on the bench that he uses for weighing goods out, sort of flattens it down. He says, and it's literally a map of the Sword Coast. It's a good map. It's well labelled, and you can see the Treebor Trail. You can see the roughly where you guys... On the map, you can see roughly where you left the trail, and you've got a pretty good idea of where the Cragmore hideout is, and you give him a mark. He gives you an ink, a quill, and a little pot of ink, and you mark a cross on the map for him.
Yeah, so it's quite deep here. I mean, I'm sure you've been on the trail yourself, but you got one embankment, and there's sort of like a sort of roughly trodden trail, goblins. So I think they're all dead. I mean, there weren't any goblins when we left.
That's good. That's good. Yes, many wagon trains and people have been robbed along the Treebor Trail over the last few months, and it'd be good to get some. One moment, and he sort of bends down and he reaches under the counter and he pulls up almost like a little miniature chest. He pops it on the counter and he hits the counter and you hear it ching ching as he hits it. It's definitely got coin in it. He sort of takes a key out from around his neck, unlocks it, opens the squeaky lid, and he reaches inside and he sort of counts out a few coins, and he slides over a small pile of coins to you, Arcos. And he hands you 40 gold and says, please take this if it's the supplies that I think it is. This isn't even half of what it's worth. So please accept this as a token of good faith.
Absolutely, I wouldn't say no. And I guess since you've paid us, and I'll sort of hand the money back to her, whichever of you two will grab it from him. He doesn't care whether.
Take it.
I suppose since you're paying us, I should let you know that there was some wolves, and we let them go, and they might be looking at something to eat that's a bit more tasty than goblin shit. So you might want to keep an eye out.
It's all right. I'll go see one of the maybe someone from the miners' exchange, and they will send a party out to collect the goods, perhaps.
Perfect. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure doing the business with you.
Thank you very much. As I said, give me a couple of hours, and we will sort payment for the other supplies for Gundren, and as I say, hopefully we will find him alive and well very soon.
Yes. Yeah. Well, good day to you.
And good day to you. And he sort of gives you a nod of the head, sort of grumbling under his breath. He puts the money chest away and starts sort of milling around again, doing whatever he was doing. Zankus, we'll shift over to you briefly. As you headed outside, what were you doing? Were you just waiting outside on the veranda? Did you go out onto the street? What was your intention?
Waited on the veranda. Just let them finish the conversations. I'm a nasty person.
You probably would have caught bits and pieces of it. If you were intending on listening into the conversation from where you are,
no,
you can roll for it. But you would have picked up bits and pieces. Nothing much.
With the two that
yes,
left, would I have been able to spy where they were at the time?
Roll a perception check for me.
What? Doesn't want to do it. Why not? Hang on. I'll close that.
Yeah, just while we don't have tokens up, I can't do the other one. Probably could, but I can't be bothered.
It's not doing it. Why is it not doing it?
You're not clicking it right. Click on the word.
Like that.
Yes. 9. You probably the same as probably not quite as well saw as much as what Arcos did earlier, but as you sort of look around down the street, you did see them walk off because you were sort of walking out of the door as the other was going on. So you probably saw them walk off to the left, sort of down this part of town, heading down towards the center of town. And you saw them stop and sort of talk to a couple of individuals and another person. And as far as you're aware, they were relatively pleasant and engagements, like backwards and forwards. Couldn't really tell from that distance. And with that roll, you probably wouldn't get much more than that.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so I'll just stand there, wait for them to come out.
And eventually they do. So you are all now standing out the front of Barton's Provisions. Youngblood has taken the 40 gold. So whether you decide to distribute that between yourselves or not, that is up to you. Depending on how you guys want to do it. But at the moment, Youngblood has an extra 40 gold in his pockets. So just make sure you're aware of that, Youngblood, so you can keep track of that. Now, what is your plan of action, shall we say?
Well, I don't know about you fellas, but I could probably use a drink. And it sounds like this Stonehill Inn's probably the best bet for most of us. So perhaps we head over there if you've got no objections.
No, let's go. Pretty sure that old man told us to meet him there too to get some gold off him for saving him.
Oh, yeah. Humans, eh? Flush with cash.
Yeah.
We will be soon if we keep going like this.
Yeah.
Let's go get a drink and meet the old man then, eh?
So, indeed, you have no idea where the Stonehill Inn is. Actually, who did we say had been to Phandalin before?
Who and
Zankus? Okay. So, who and Zankus?
Was a brief travel through.
Yeah, yours is a brief travel, so you probably don't know. So, Zankus, you've probably been here a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times, I'd imagine. So, I'll get you to roll a history check for me. I'll say at advantage, so alt click it, or I think with the checks it asks you anyway. There you go, 19. Ale is your thing. You're a drinker. You definitely know where ale houses are, and as a general, most places like this, the ale house is towards the centre of town. But you've got a pretty good memory, and you know that the Stonehill Inn is but 3 or 4 buildings down from where you currently stand. So you would be able to let your crew know exactly where it is.
Alright, this way, I guess. And I lead them to
You
the
lead
ale
the
house.
way. So,
Which ale house?
and what we're going to do here, what I am going to do here is actually I'm going to put your tokens on this map, even though we don't really need to. This is more for rolling. So we're going to just bang your, even though the scale's going to be way off, this is more just for rolling purposes. So don't stress about where you're at or anything like that.
Look, we're midgets.
You're all midgets, and you're standing on tables. We'll put you
On
down.
the sides.
We'll put you down here, so I can see all you guys.
I've got to ask, have we been drinking already? Because we look like we're pretty well passed out on the floor.
Yep, pretty much. You're all
Okay.
out to it. So as you head down towards the inn, sort of the centre of the town's like almost like a large town square. Like it's just a large open area, dusty, muddy sort of areas in the ground. You got a large, relatively new looking building. It's made of fieldstone and rough-hewn timbers. It's got a common sort of almost like a thatching roof on it. It's kind of a common looking building, but it looks really good. The front sign is a wrought iron sign, and it says Stonehill Inn, plain as day. Quite a fancy looking sign. As you walk inside, you walk into a kind of a warm looking inn. It's modest. Looks to be maybe half a dozen people in here at the moment, being sort of just after midday. A couple of, probably one looks to be maybe the town drunk, sitting there nursing a tankard of ale, sort of half slumped over his chair, and a couple other people sort of having a meal, an afternoon meal. You don't really see anyone else at this point. You do spy a short, friendly looking human, sort of with a towel over one shoulder, carrying a couple of tankards over to a table, and he sort of grabs the towel, wipes his hands, slings it back over his shoulder. He's got an apron on, and sort of turns to says, take a seat anywhere, I'll be with you in just a moment, just anywhere you like. And he sort of
Right you are.
wanders on
Well,
through.
I'm assuming since I've been here a few times, I'll probably take my usual seat wherever that would be.
Well, wherever you would usually sit, you'd quite happily take. Where would Zankus usually sit in a place like this?
There.
In the back, up on the back corner, definitely. Okay.
Yep.
So you direct your companions to the back of the room. No one seems to be sitting up there at this point, so you move to the back. You can see the door from where you sit. You're slightly elevated. You get a good view of the main sort of bar area, and you can see a door off to the sort of western side of the inn, which you know probably leads to the rooms upstairs. That's probably why you chose this spot. It's got a pretty good view of the bar. So, after a short time, this individual starts heading back towards you, and I'm just going to open up his sheet here. So again, human. He is probably mid-30s, I would say, maybe late 30s. Auburn reddish kind of hair, chin strap beard with a little bit of a soul patch there as well, no moustache. Striking blue eyes. He is pretty much what you see on your screens now. He is relatively short, maybe 5'7", 5'8", not too stocky, quite thinly built. He wanders over to you and says, "Right, strangers in town, new money, as we like to call them. Welcome to Phandalin and to the Stonehill Inn. My name is Toblin. I'm the proprietor and chef and barman, whatever you need me to be. What can I do you for this evening or this afternoon? For drinks, food, what will it be?"
Are we hungry, fellas?
Yeah, food and drink.
Yeah, fucking starved.
All right, so food it is. So we have a fine selection of root vegetables. We have pork, we have beef, we have venison. I mean, when I say we have them, they're okay, a little chewy, but it's serviceable. Anything you would like, as long as it's pork, beef, venison, and root vegetables. We have a fine ale, if I do say so myself. Make it locally, a brewery out the back. So four ales and just 4 plates of solid grub, I would say. You look like you could use a decent meal.
Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
you are.
Give me the chef's choice.
Indeed. And he walks away. And a couple of minutes later, he comes back, and a bit of a quizzical look on his face. He says, "Right, the chef me recommends the mushroom stroganoff. Beautiful dish. I recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's got a bit of beef in there as well, but it's more mushrooms, local mushrooms. We picked them out the back of town here, so." What do you say? We give it a go? 5 copper each. Absolute steal.
It's been a long time since I've been on the streams. What do we say?
Yeah, you never know what's good. It might make me night a bit better, eh? Bit of shrooms.
So he grins away and takes about 10 or 15 minutes. Probably 5 minutes. He brings you a large tankard of ale each. So you're looking like half a litre. We're not talking small tankards. These things are like probably more likely a litre. Big wooden tankards of ale, really frothy on the top. Seems to be cold, like not super cold, but cold enough. Brings them, dumps them on the table, and says, "I'll be right back with your meals, gentlemen," and takes off, leaving you to yourselves just for a moment.
While they're waiting for food, Youngblood pull the 40 out and give them all 10 each and give himself 10.
Okay,
There you go, it's all the money we got.
There you go, mark 10 gold each onto your sheet. If you're not entirely sure how to do it, let me know. I can let you know.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Very good.
If you go to your, just open up your sheet, down the very bottom on that first page, you'll see your gold listed there. You just should be able to edit it. So you'll see PP, GP, EP, SP. So you just edit that to add the gold to that. You just highlight it and change the number.
Oh, yeah. So I put 10 GP there, do I?
Well, what if I think you've already got 10 in there, so you just add it up to 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever your
best
total is, you
money.
add 10 to that. You'll be all good.
Cool. All good.
So while you're sitting there, you've divvied up your gold. Once again, you see a couple of individuals, not the same ones you struck earlier, but again, slightly rougher dressed, more militaristic style armor, sort of coming through the doors. One is definitely not human. In fact, you would have seen this race just recently. In fact, in your old mate Clark that you've just dealt with. So it's a bugbear, another bugbear. A little bit slimmer, a little bit shorter than Clark, but very unmistakable and undeniably a bugbear. Walks in with a could be elven, could be half elf, you're not entirely sure, but they walk up to the sort of bar area, and the bugbear sort of bangs on the bar, trying to get someone's attention. Toblin, you there? Toblin! You sort of hear things sort of bang and crash around the back, and Toblin sort of comes out. And from your guys' position, you can see, you can't see these guys' faces, they got their back to you, but you can see Toblin's face relatively easily without a roll. And you can see he's got that look of concern. Not fear, but just a look of concern. The bugbear sort of looks around behind him and then leans in and says something to Toblin that you can't hear from where you are. Toblin, then you watch him reach under the bar and pull something out and slide it across the bar to these individuals. They take it and they turn and start heading for the door. Do you do or say anything, or do you just let it happen?
Well, I was just wondering, being an Owlin, do I have an option for hearing?
For an Owlin, I don't think so. I don't think so. For you, it'd be more sight, because you're big owly eyes. Your perception, your passive's only 10, or no, passive's 13. I'll tell you what we'll do.
Just I'm thinking, our race, that's why they have like the dish for, because it's more, sight and sound.
Their owl's hearing is about average. Their sight is really good.
Okay. Yep.
But what I will do in this particular instance is I'll allow you all to make a perception roll based on hearing. And I will bring this one up. So I'll get you all to make a perception roll. Youngblood with a natural 20. A natural 20. Yeah, Bugs would definitely have heightened hearing, so his DC would have been lower, but he rolled pretty poorly. So I would say, unfortunately, who with a 6, you definitely didn't catch any of that conversation. Zankus, you probably, as far as hearing the conversation, I'd probably say you didn't hear it. But I'd say because of who you are, and probably the people you've had dealings with, you just know it's a shakedown. You know a shakedown when you see one. You've probably been involved with a few in your time, or at the very least witness to them. So you know, even without hearing what's going on, that was definitely a shakedown. Youngblood, you definitely know that was a shakedown because you've done it. You've worked for people that do this kind of work. You've done all sorts of things. Growing up the way you did in Neverwinter, you did anything it took to survive. So you've played the henchman before. So you know, again, you didn't hear it, but you know exactly what was going on. So whether you guys want to talk about it amongst yourselves, it's up to you. You do have a little bit of time before the food arrives, but if you do nothing...
I'm just drinking.
Yeah, so if you do nothing, as they walk across the room, they probably will give you a bit of a side eye as new people in town, as they generally probably do. Look you up and down and then slowly start to walk towards the door.
Hey, Bug, that's what that old man at shop was telling us about. That's the red brand, right?
I mean, it's a bugbear. It's quite obviously a bugbear. He could be...
The red brand. No, I was talking about the red brand.
Yeah.
Crew.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. This mug's bigger than my head. You see this?
You guys might want to keep it down unless you want some trouble this way.
We already got trouble here, mate. That's you.
Oh, you'll have more trouble than me if you keep raising your voices.
I don't think they really care about us.
At this point, Toblin sort of comes back over with 4 plates. And he's quite adept at carrying these plates. You can see he's got them one on each hand and one on each forearm, and he's coming over quite skillfully, lays them all out. and sort of leans in and just says, if you don't mind, yes, I agree with your blue friend here. Could you please keep it down? We don't want to bring more problems from the red brands. I pay them so they don't harass my wife and son, and they don't like break up my business. Just please, and the food's on me. And he sort of
extortion.
and then he sort of walks away. And you can see he's wringing his hands as he walks away. He's kind of concerned that with the raised voices that these guys might have heard something and it might bring some form of retaliation.
It's not a bad racket. He'll make a bit of money out of that, but yeah, I guess.
I'll just start eating.
So what you have in front of you is a mushroom stroganoff. When you get it and you look at it, you jab your fork in it. The moment it looks like it's fairly well cooked. There's a little bit of beef mixed in there, but the mushrooms aren't your typical mushrooms. They got a real sort of blue sort of hue to the mushrooms. They're not your typical brown or white brown mushroom that you'd normally get. They're kind of odd looking. Smells okay.
I just push it to the center of the table. No thanks.
So you don't
No
eat
thanks.
Come on, who? This is
Nice,
what
doesn't it?
world travel's about, mate. Try exotic cuisines.
Even though it's free, no. It's blue.
I mean-
no.
I mean, they call it stroganoff, but it's still blue balls, right?
Can't say no to a free meal. Come on, man. I fight in the streets for free meals. I get one just for free right now. We can't say no to that.
Yeah, you guys go right ahead. I'm going to sit here and have my ale, and you guys can eat up if you want, but I'm not touching that. Blue mushrooms.
Well,
Yeah,
young blood wants
and
to
I
go
don't
reach out
fancy.
and grab
I
it.
don't fancy blue balls as well. It just doesn't look right.
Young blood just grab out and grab his bowl, have both of them. It's free meal. I'm not saying no. I'm wasting this.
So who's digging in?
No, he's not.
No, who's not digging
Young
in?
blood's digging in. He's got
Young
both
blood's
of them. He's
digging in.
crazy.
Zankus is digging in. There's Arcos digging into the food.
Yeah. He'll be interested that Zankus is eating it.
So I will need. What we got here? Arcos, Zankus, and Youngblood. I will need you guys to make a Constitution check. This is not a saving throw. So the rolls in the chat there. So it's just a check. This is not a saving throw. This is not about against any kind of poison. So Arcos, you, I don't know how Arcos eats. Is he a messy eater? Is he hands in, or is he more civilized? Describe
wouldn't
what
say he
type
was-
of eater Arcos would be.
So he uses like cutlery and stuff, but he's not very good with it, and sort of slops stuff down his front. But he tries
So
to eat
with a
properly.
15, it's actually pretty good. Like it's got an unusual sort of tangy flavor to it, but it's not bad. Like it's not horrible by any means. The sauce, the gravy's pretty nice. The few bits of beef are in there, a little bit tough, but for all intents and purposes, it's not a bad meal. You do notice though that after a couple of mouthfuls, the ends of your fingers are a little tingly, like almost like pins and needles in the ends of your fingers. But apart from that little unusual thing, it's pretty good. It's not bad. Zankus, as you sort of dig in with your 7, like I said, it's got a tangy taste to it, but to you it tastes almost bitter as well, a very bitter sort of flavor, almost like there's maybe not enough salt being put into it, or that. The beef that you've got in yours is extremely tough and chewy, It's not unpleasant, just a little hard to eat, but it's, like I said, it's serviceable. Youngblood, yours is about the same, but for some reason you just don't care. You down the first plate and are already halfway through the second plate, and again, both of you, Zankus probably more so than anybody, the tips of your fingers, that pins and needles feeling. Zankus, your right hand, the whole right hand has got a pins and needles type feeling to it. Well, not completely numb, but just that kind of prickly feeling, and it kind of feels weird to touch. But apart from that, no real adverse effects.
Well, that was unusual. It was all right. It's all right. You're missing out. You're missing out, Feathers.
Yeah,
Although-
it's good.
Though he's got.
I feel like I might have some sort of food allergy to maybe blue mushrooms. I'm feeling a little bit, you just feel a little bit off. Maybe. No? No one?
Yeah, I eat everything and anything when I get a chance. Nothing bothers me.
I'll drink
So
all
I'll
my-
push my plate towards Youngblood and say, "Go for it, mate." And I yell out for Tobin to bring me a rare.
Stole it. I stole it a while ago and already started eating.
Basically a bloody piece of meat.
Oh, sorry. Was the mushrooms not, were they not good enough for you? Apologies, I didn't mean to upset anyone. Sure, I'd just be right back. And he goes back and he comes back with a. You said bloody, so it doesn't look like he's even cooked it. It's literally 10 seconds on each side.
That'll do. That's fine.
Essentially, like he's gone out the back, cut its throat, wiped its ass, and slapped it on the plate, and that's pretty much it. He got some root vegetables with it, so a few potatoes, maybe a bit of pumpkin, parsnip, whatever. Just a few root, not huge amounts, but a nice piece of bloody meat.
I'm gonna poke through all the vegetables to make sure there's none of those blue fucking mushrooms in there, though.
No blue mushrooms.
So no, it's right.
And it's a good piece of meat. I mean, it's again a little tough, but it's not bad. I mean, this is definitely not Neverwinter.
That thing seems like it's still mooing it. Served it with its last fucking meal.
Yeah, I like them running across the table.
Yeah. You're a strange one, aren't you?
It's more fun if you got to chase them with the fork, when they're running around.
Savage.
So, it probably takes you guys about an hour. Get through your meals, bit of conversation, get through your first tankard of ale. Do you order any more ale, or are you happy with just the one? Because they're pretty big.
I'm sitting on this one.
I think we're a multi-ale table, no? No one else?
Sitting with the same one.
I was sit the same one too.
Seems like Arcos is the only drinker at this table.
Yeah, Arcos will have another one. As big as his head. He's impressed.
It's good. I will, however, Arcos, as you seem to be the only drinker at the table, we'll get again, not a save, but we'll just get a con check from you.
Oh, soft, the lot of you.
Never been a big drinker myself, just sitting on one for the night's good.
Maybe being on solid ground is upsetting Arcos a little bit. He's used to being on a less solid surface when he's drinking. It's not making you sick, but the second one's definitely starting to go to your head a little bit. You get about a third the way through that second one, and you think, ooh, not used to that feeling so quick.
Wow. You don't know if you're drinking unless you feel a little bit shy, you know what I mean?
So should we ask around if this old man, I can't remember his fucking name.
Speaking of this old man, as you guys are sitting, Arcos, you're going through your second ale there. You spy a human gentleman, open the door which leads to the rooms above the main floor of the inn. Again, not wearing any armor, but he's wearing kind of nobleman's clothes. A gentleman you guys all recognize. You know who he is. As one Sildar Hallwinter, the companion of Gundren Rockseeker, your benefactor. He hasn't noticed you guys. He sort of walked in and sort of gone over to speak with Toblin. He hasn't noticed you guys at this point.
You reckon I can fit my whole head in here? What do you reckon?
So I'm gonna get Arcos's attention, and I'm gonna wink at him, and I'm gonna start going like this in the chair from side to side.
It's pretty soothing, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll warrant the response that you were hoping there, Pooh. Doesn't seem to phase him all that much, in fact.
You can find out if you want. I can chuck it on your head.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Reaches over, tries to put the cup on over his head.
It would probably, what size? You're like 3 foot something, 3'8"?
3'4".
3'4".
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say there's a good sized tankard, so I'd say it wouldn't be like an easy fit. His ears would probably get in the way first, like he'd get down, the tips of his ears would hit the bottom before you'd kind of have to push it down and squash his ears down, but it would definitely fit on his head.
Yeah. A makeshift helmet, mate.
That might protect you in battle.
Yeah.
Want me to take it off now? You want to keep it on like an idiot?
It's all. Oh yeah, my ears. Yeah, better take it off. Yeah.
Take it off here.
You got a little bit of the backwash in the bottom of the cups all over your ears.
I think I got some in my ear. Oh, my ears.
I mean, nothing too major, but yeah, it's definitely there. And it's at this point Sildar sort of turns and recognizes you guys, and not super quickly, but makes his way over to you and just drags a chair over and sits down at the table. Good to see you gentlemen make it back. Did you find him? Did you find Gundren? Was he there?
No, they took him.
Where did they take him? Be specific.
Some castle, I can't remember the name of it. I've got bad memory, man. Anyone
Castle.
else remember this castle name?
Cragmore Castle.
Yeah,
Are you
who was
sure?
on it?
Are you sure that it was Cragmore? Are you positive?
Yep.
It's
Somebody's got the note.
what's on the note. The bunny
Yeah.
guy got bunny fella's got
show
the
them
note there.
So you can read the note.
Some of it's written in shit speak though, and only Feathers knows it.
And he sort of reaches over and says, I can't read this. You said, you, and he points to you, who said, you can read this. Read to me exactly what it says. And I won't get you to do it because I know what's written on it. But
I have the note. I didn't write it all down.
it's all good. And you read it out to him, which literally says that bring the dwarf and his belongings to Cragmore for questioning. And he's looking at you intently as you read through it. He looks at you all and he goes, first, I owe you all a debt of gratitude for saving my life, and I believe a sum of gold, and I'm always a man of my word. And he reaches onto his belt and sort of latches a coin purse and dumps it onto the center of the table, and just slides it over towards not anyone in particular, just over towards all of you, which is another 50 gold. Which is what he promised you when he was at the thing. He says, now, I've had some time to heal, as you can see it, feeling much better. Many thanks to you, of course. But now we must find Gundren. He is definitely in over his head on this one. I'm not entirely sure who has him, but I remember the goblins. They were speaking in their language. I don't bits and pieces, but Clark, the bugbear that beat the shit out of me, he mentioned a name. Cannot remember this name. The name. It's still a bit fuzzy, but
let's be fair. Dwarves are always over their head. Yep. And I'm gonna grab the coins.
Yep.
And I'm gonna do that thing. I'm gonna grab gold out, and I'm gonna do that thing where you bounce it off the table. I'm trying to get it into Xanx's drink.
I think we're looking for a dexterity check here, I believe.
He's gonna check me dicks.
Dexterity. Here we go. A dexterity check to see if you can bounce a single gold coin into Xanx's tankard. Looking for a natural 20. We'll do it. That is perfect.
He's got 2.
An absolute perfect shot. You line it up, one eye closed, and you just ting, and you watch it hit the table, and it just swish, not even hitting the sides, sploosh into whatever's left of the ale in Xanx's cup.
That's your share, buddy.
Bucks. What?
You didn't need any more drink. You look like you're about to pop.
I cast Mage Hand
For fuck's sake.
to get the coin out of the cup.
Okay, easily enough done. I just need to find a name here just quickly. I remember. He mentioned a name starting with an N. Nez something. Nizna, I believe, was the name. Yes, Nizna. I think that's it. I've not heard this name before. I'm not entirely sure, but
Brock Nesna? No?
oh no, nothing like that.
Nesna, what sort of name is that? Sounds like a sneeze.
Nizna, yeah. Well, it kind of does, but I mean, we need to be a little bit more serious, gentlemen. Please, Gundren's life's at stake here. But I mean, we could find Gundren's brothers. Perhaps they could possibly help too, maybe. But would you be willing to aid me further in finding Gundren and saving him? He's a good friend. We've been friends for many years. We've been treasure hunting for a long time, and we've found many things. And he was so excited about the mine and what the mine had to offer. I'm sure he, if you were to rescue him, he would be most grateful, and he would pay you handsomely.
How much?
Oh, I can't say exactly how much because I don't know how much he would offer, but it would definitely be substantial. And of course, you could keep anything you found in whatever place we ended up finding him. I mean, there's bound to be some interesting things in some of these places. I mean, I've heard Cragmore Castle is supposedly abandoned, but if he's been taken there, then surely there are things there to kill and to loot, of course.
What do you think, gang? Are we gonna go do a
Totally.
rescue mission?
Another round of drinks.
I mean, I've got business in the area, so what about you, blue fella? Gonna cut and run now?
More gold's involved. I'll take it.
Excellent. So we have an accord. Yes, let's sell it with a drink. Toblin, drinks, please.
An accord.
A deal.
Yeah, sure. I mean, what about feathers? I mean, democracy? That's right? Feathers, democracy is when everyone has a say, right?
Yeah, I got a cord in my pants, but I agree. Yeah, I'll come along.
It's just as well.
Marvelous. Most grateful to you all for agreeing to another adventure. And a great adventure it'll be. I mean, you could die, of course, but we don't dwell on the negatives, do we?
Some sooner than others, I believe.
And Toblin brings over another round of drinks for you and one for Sildar as well, and he raises his tankard to business endeavor, and waits for you guys to raise your tankards as well.
Hey,
I give a short.
I toast with the tankard and then I slide it towards Youngblood.
Sildar's not put out by the fact that you're not drinking. He downs his sort of half a tankard almost in one go, and you can see he's still got a few sort of light scars and bruises sort of there. Like he's definitely had some time to heal, but he still has a few bruises lingering from his ordeal.
You'll pass the one you got from who? The bugs. I can't drink too much. You think I'm annoying now? Wait till I get if I get too drunk, I'll be even more annoying.
I mean, they're
you
huge.
guys.
Do you reckon I could do both at once? I probably
Hell
couldn't,
yeah.
could I? I mean, it'd probably get in my clothes. Fuck it. And he would...
I'm not even going to make you roll for this. Like two tankards the size of your face. I mean, the size of your head. I mean, I think full, you kind of struggle to do it one-handed. If you've got a half-empty one, that's not so bad. The full one's a little bit of a struggle to do one-handed. You don't have huge amounts of strength, but you sort of lean into it, or maybe even lean back in your chair to try and get that momentum, that sort of that tipping point. And you do. You end up with most of it down your shirt. It's all in your lap. It's down your face. You get some in there. I mean, you definitely get some ale in there, and you get a good gulp out of that. But there's probably more on you.
Squirrels that you see that like stuff all the nuts and that.
Pretty much.
He's going to be shaking that out of his ears for a week now.
But I won't have to have a bath. You see, I'm washed.
Well, that's a bonus. That's a bonus.
You're washed. What?
So Sildar then sort of looks sort of not down his nose at you, but he sort of leans back in his chair and sort of looks over you all and says, well, I would imagine that tomorrow would be when we would start, as you seem to be enjoying yourselves this evening, and rightly so. You've had a bit of a day, I would assume, prior. So I will see you on the morning, and we should lay out a bit of a plan, I guess, on how we should approach Cragmore. Do you even know where Cragmore is, by chance?
No.
Well, maybe that would be the first port of call, that we actually show you where it is on the map, and then eventually get there, I suppose.
I don't know about the other guys, but I've never travelled. Hardly really travelled. I stay in my little Neverland.
Could I
Never
do a
winter.
history check? Because I dare say would have heard about it.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say the same, like, considering I've travelled through here
definitely.
and done some travelling.
You two can make a history check for sure. Zankus with 16. With a 16, I'd say, yeah, you've got a fair idea where it is. You've heard stories about it. You know it's abandoned. Unfortunately, who with an 8, as a mere passer through of Phandalin, you've probably heard about it, but not entirely sure where it is. But Zankus, yeah, you've been here a few more times, and have probably heard people talking about the old Cragmore ruins, and roughly the direction where they're at.
It is also probably a place of interest for me too, seeing.
Yes and no, possibly. It definitely would have been somewhere that you may have wanted to visit at some point, maybe not had a chance to yet. Just with the potential. An old ruin always has stuff hidden if you know where to look.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's entirely possible that's been on your list.
We do have a rogue in the party. Whether he's trustworthy or not is a different question.
Arcos's attention is all over the place right now. He's definitely feeling the effects of his ale.
I'm sorry, gentlemen, but I need to take a piss. And I'll sort of like excuse myself and sort of wander around
Don't
and
hurt
look for some
yourself
sort
trying to
of
walk around.
I probably will, but hopefully I won't piss on myself.
Sildar says the privy is around the back of the building. If you go through that door, he points you towards a door, which will take you out to the back of the inn where the outhouses are located.
So Arcos will bow at him very dramatically. Why, thank you, good sir. And he'll stumble off to
Sildar will
that
kind of,
general direction.
yeah, Sildar will giggle under his breath a little bit, give a little bit of a snigger. While you're away, he will say to the others, well, if you'll excuse me, I must find sleep myself. It is starting to get, so by now you guys have been here for a few hours talking out these plans with him and trying to make this deal, so it's getting towards sort of sundown at this point, and he excuses himself. He's got some errands that he needs to run before taking himself to bed, and he walks out the front door of the inn. As he sort of turns to leave, and he says to Toblin, their rooms are on me, Toblin. Put it onto my tab if you will. Thank you. And he heads out.
Just to let you know, I did keep the beer thingamajiggy. What got given to me, I gave who's away. I'm drinking the other one.
Okay, so I'll get you to make another Constitution check then. I'll put it in the chat there for you. Not good. Who's starting to feel the effects of the alcohol as well? So again, you're not being sick. This is not about being sick. This is all about just how the alcohol is affecting you. Youngblood, sorry.
Touched a roll.
Youngblood. Forgive me. Shush you. So Youngblood, you are definitely starting to feel the effects of the alcohol also. Not super drunk, but definitely you're getting that light buzz and thing. You're a little more happy than usual. Arcos, as you excuse yourself and find your way, you go through the door, you sort of stagger yourself out the back there. You're definitely starting to feel the effects. One would say instead of being seasick, probably more land sick. You're missing the sway of the ship, one would say. Being a little bit of alcohol on board on solid ground is a little disorientating to you. But you do find your way to the privy, and you do your business, whatever your business is. Is there anything else that Arcos is getting up to while he's out there, or is it just a nature stop?
I think Arcos would probably have a look around to see if he can, that bugbear particularly, maybe see if he can see him out this way.
Roll a perception check at disadvantage, as you do have a bit of alcohol on board.
Perception.
Ooh, 6. You don't really see anyone about. You get to the privy, you call the nature is finished, you exit the privy, and you have a quick look around. You even head round the side of the inn to sort of look down the street. You don't really see many. There's a few people around, but you don't see the bugbear specifically. As you sort of turn and maybe start to head back towards the rear door of the inn, you just hear from a shadow behind the inn.
Oh, what? Did I get some on me? Fucking hell. I did my zip up, right?
You're strangers in town, are you not?
I mean, we only just got here, if that's what you mean.
A little word of advice, my
God.
strange traveller.
No, nothing but advice today, alright.
Be wary of who you cross paths with while here in Phandalin.
Right you are.
And he sort of, at this point, you can't even see where the voice is coming from. He's wherever this is, it's in the shadows. Your eyes are a little blurry from the drink, and he's sort of peering into the darkness as the sun's starting to set. Those shadows are getting sort of quite dark under awnings, under buildings and stuff. The sun's just starting to set, and he sort of steps out from the shadow. And a very tall, 6'2", 6'3" individual, very slender. He's hood up. He's got a mask covering 2/3 of his face, so all you can really see is his eyes. Very striking, sort of honey-coloured eyes. Quite large eyes too. But very slender individual, hooded, cloaked, dark leathers. You can see maybe the hint of a dagger or two on one side of his under his cloak. You can see just the hilts of maybe what looks to be a dagger, maybe a short sword. Not entirely sure. You can see as he steps forward a little bit more clearly. You can see what would be, you would know as probably the bulge of a quiver under the cloak at the back. And he gives you a slight bow of the head and just says, "You have been warned."
I certainly have, shadowy figure.
Let's just say we know who you are and why you are here.
If I ever forget, I'll seek you out.
Indeed. Have a pleasant evening.
I intend to.
And he steps back into the shadow and you lose sight of him. Do you go looking any further? Or do you just head back into the inn?
I'll just head back into the inn.
So you make your way back. While Arcos is away having a call of nature, leaving you three at the table after Sildar's left you. What are you guys discussing at this point, if anything?
I'll go sit over near Blue Man and come in close. I want to hear a joke.
Do I have to?
It's you know how we were saying the orc earlier? It's an orc joke, so I came in close. So I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. You want to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
What is an orc with 2 brain cells called?
I don't know, what is it called?
Pregnant. He slaps his knee and starts laughing. Come on, man. You get a... Don't you... Come on, that's funny, right? Yeah, that orc did look like a dumb fuck, didn't he? Come on. Doesn't drinks make you happy as well? Come on.
I don't drink to get drunk. I drink to enjoy the flavour.
So, it doesn't make you do anything? Happy, sad, angry? Even more angry, maybe?
How about annoyed?
You're always annoyed, though. That's
More
why you love
so
me, right?
annoyed.
I just annoy you even more. I make you happy because you're always annoyed, so I always help you be even more annoyed.
Do I look happy?
That's the whole point. Aren't you happy when you're annoyed? So I'm helping you out like a good friend I am. Well, it just feels like you like being an arsehole, so I'm helping you be even more of an arsehole. See what I'm doing here? No?
Get back to drinking, you mead.
For one. No fucking fun, no fucking humour in him. He'll sit back down, drink his drink.
How does who react to the joke that that was told?
I basically get up off my chair and head towards the front door, just shaking my head.
What is who looking for as he heads towards the front door?
What I'd like to do is would the inn be one of the taller buildings in the town?
Most of the buildings in the town are a single story. Like, it doesn't appear to be many double story or multi-story buildings within Phandalin that you can see from here. So it's on ground level, but it looks sort of out. If you sort of step out of the inn and move towards your left or towards the sort of southish of Phandalin, it opens up into quite a big square. So like a big sort of town centre area. So it's quite open.
What I wanted to do was go out and hike myself up onto the top of the inn,
Yep.
and just spend an hour there, like looking over the town, just watching stuff that's going on before I decide to go to bed.
Okay, so won't need to make you have a roll because you can fly, so it's easy for you to flutter up and that. You get a couple of sideways looks from some of the Phandaluvians, though, as this owlin creature just flies up and lands on the Stonehill Inn's roof and just perches themselves up there and is watching everybody. And you sort of get a few people as they're going, sort of walking through past the inn, sort of looking up, sort of pointing and whispering as they walk past. I will get you to make a perception check with advantage on this one. So alt roll. Well, I think this one on there kind of asks you.
It comes up when I click on it.
Yep. So I'll get you to roll that advantage,
So advantage
because of your owly eyes. So an 18. So as you're sitting up there for the, you say about an hour, you do see several rougher individuals as they sort of move about town. They stop people in the street. You see them talking. Again, too far away to determine what they're saying. Body language is kind of difficult to read from here, but one or two of the conversations seem a little heated. You did hear at one point, and probably see from where you are, they entered into another building in the town, and then at one point you see the door sort of gets almost like it got kicked open. Someone gets tumbled out into the street, and there's a bit of a scuffle, which doesn't last long, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, before other people sort of join in and things scatter and seem to calm down. But apart from that, you don't really see much else in that time. But you definitely get the impression that whoever these red brands are, they definitely are wouldn't say a dominate. Well, they are kind of a dominating force within town. They definitely have a presence in Phandalin, and it seems like a lot of the locals are either afraid of them or just do not engage with them just to keep the peace. That's the impression you get with that roll.
Okay. Basically, when that's done with, I'll head back down and.
No worries. I'll leave
Tell
you
the
there.
guys I'm
I'll
heading
leave
up
you
to bed.
there for a moment before we do, because we've got an hour of you being up there that your friends don't know about. Because as Arcos makes his way back into the building, you would have gotten up and walked away. So Arcos, you come back in, and it's just Youngblood and Zanka sitting at the table. Youngblood, you would have seen who get up and walk to the front door, and go through the front door, and he sort of disappeared. You're not entirely sure what he's up to, but now it's just Arcos, you returning from your nature call.
What happened to Feathers? He's gone. You didn't tell him his head turned around 360 was creepy again. It is fucking creepy though, right?
No, I didn't tell him that. I told another joke, and I don't think he liked it, so he went off.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna ask.
I thought
Should
it was
I
a
ask?
funny one. I'll tell you a joke again if you want.
I
If
mean,
you
go
missed
on.
it.
I did.
Okay. So you know how we've seen that dumbass orc, right?
I think it was a half orc to be like racially sensitive, but yeah,
So what do you call orc with 2 brain cells?
2 brain cells. I give up. Tell me.
Pregnant, and he slaps his knee again, laughing.
Right. That's yeah. I mean, it's a little bit. It's a little bit. You know, on the nose. But I mean, I get what you're saying.
Look, I'm nice, but I'm still an asshole, man. Come on.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
I'm just a
Like,
nice
just
asshole.
don't say that around an orc, because I mean, maybe he's dumb, but he'd probably cut you in half. So, and then there'll be
Yeah,
2
yeah,
people.
I agree with you. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah,
can
I'm
probably
playing
handle
smart. I
yourself.
whispered it.
You did, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if
I whispered it to the other guy too, Blue Man. You know, I'll
you
play
got
the
any
safe.
jokes about this fella here, then that's different.
What? The Blue Man.
Blue Man, yeah. I don't even know what he is. I ain't seen his sort before. He's like a weird mix of things. He looks kind of people-like, right? But he's kind of blue and a little bit scaly.
I don't know
Kinda-
what he is either.
What are you anyway? apart from an asshole.
I'm an Asmir.
And
That's
as
me.
it's pretty close to asshole. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's great wherever they come from. You probably have a great old time, right?
And with that, I stand up and go to a room. I take it we have a room somewhere.
You'd have to speak to Toblin, but
Yeah,
Sildar
I'll
did
go.
say he would take care of the rooms.
Yeah, I go and ask for a room.
Of course,
Politely.
Sildar said he'd take care of it for you. Here, and he sort of reaches down under the counter. He said, "Number 4 for you," and gives you a small iron key with a little wooden tag on it, which just has the number 4 painted on it.
I just take it without saying thank you and just walk off.
Toblin says, "You're welcome. Good night."
Oh, bugged. Everyone's going off to bed. Guess I'll join them.
God,
See-
it's still pretty raucous in here for as late as it is.
As
So,
I say,
right?
there's a family with a young child in the table just not too far from you. The child screaming its head off. Doesn't really like the food. No, it's not
Wonder if-
happy at all.
I wonder if that poor kid got the mushies.
Yeah, must have ordered those
Whispering.
blue shrooms.
I hope he's whispering. I hope the little kid's right. Maybe he's getting them pins and needles that we've been getting, eh?
Yeah. I'm guessing the blue fella's up in his room. I mean, we saw that, but what happened to Feathers?
He went out front. Don't know what he was doing.
He doesn't seem like the sort of look for trouble. There's plenty of
No.
trouble out there, I'll tell you. I had a guy in the shadows, he come warn me about trouble. It's full of it
Shadow
around
man.
here. Yeah, he was skulking in the shadows. Had a mask, must be ugly as fuck. You don't wear a mask if you're not ugly.
Yep. Yeah, sounds about right around here. So everyone's warning us about this red brand.
Yeah, the red brand. I
I'm
mean,
still kind of whispering.
if they've got that much trouble with them, like, why are they putting up with that shit?
Don't know, scared.
Yeah.
When you're scared, it's a bit hard to stick up for yourself and stuff, you know.
I guess they got no law enforcement in this town. I mean, it is a bit of a shithole.
Yeah, I'm guessing the law enforcement is a red brand. They've made themselves a law enforcement.
Oh, man. Well, you reckon we should go check on Feathers? I think he'll be all right. He seems... I mean, he's a bit peculiar, but he'd probably look after himself, right?
And at
Jeez,
that
that
moment,
kid's still screaming.
At that moment, Who lets out a shrill shriek from out the front of the inn. No, that wasn't Who. But at that moment, Who wanders back in from out the front of the inn after about an hour. He wants his dad. So, Who, you eventually you've had your time up on the roof. You've made your observations. When you do eventually come back in, you know Zankus is not there anymore. It's just Arcos and Youngblood. Arcos is probably, I would say, maybe downed another drink at this point, and is looking a little seedy. Probably definitely ready for bed, I would imagine. Youngblood's looking a little bleary-eyed as well. You guys have had a pretty long day.
So I'll speak to Toblin and grab my room key, ask him what room I've got, and then head over to the guys and just let them know what I've seen from the roof of the building. You know, like the people basically getting harassed in the streets. You know, little arguments going on. You know, that door that got booted out, and just the unrest that's out there.
No problem. So, with that, Who grabs his room key? You're in room number 1. Who? Toblin then comes over to the table where Arcos and Youngblood is and hands you both a key as well. Youngblood, you are in room 5, and Arcos in rooms 3.
Hey, my lucky number. Cheers.
I hope you
and
have
thank
a...
you for
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
and thank you for the blue arsehole too. Hey, I don't think he means well. I was going to say he means well, but
he's a little ornery, isn't he? I mean, he's
a little prick, is what he is.
well. I mean, yes. I didn't really. I don't know if he's your friend. I didn't really want to like upset anybody. I was trying to be polite.
He's not a
Friend
friend
is a
to
very
us.
strong word.
Right.
He's
right.
He's more of a work companion.
I mean, we could be friends. Who knows? Like, maybe we'll see some shit and we'll all be best buds. But
exactly. But I'm assuming you're done and you're sort of seeing the bit of a mess on the table, the ale that's been spilt all over the floor and over the table from Arcos, and you can see he's not upset by it, but he's not happy about it either. It's kind of part and parcel with owning an inn, I guess. But he starts to clean up plates and stuff and clear up after you guys. I wish you all a good night's rest, and we'll see you on the morrow for breakfast. Sun up, breakfast starts to be served. Normally eggs and coffee and such.
not mushrooms.
No. Mushrooms are definitely an evening meal, not generally good for a start of a day. Definitely
No, those
for the
mushrooms are
evening.
probably not good for. Anyway.
I mean, you enjoyed them, yes? They were. I mean,
they were all right. Are they usually blue?
Yes.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
I haven't noticed any other colours, not yet.
Really?
I mean, you never know. I mean,
It's a strange world out there. You don't really know, do you?
exactly. Well, anyway, have a good evening and enjoy your rest, and we'll see you on the morrow. And he, again, like I said, he just starts to clear up after you guys, and you guys eventually make it to your respective rooms. All of your rooms are fairly humble, like they're nothing to write home about. You've stayed in far better in Neverwinter, definitely. In fact, the place you all stayed at, which Gundren paid for before you left Neverwinter, was very much a nice place compared to this. You've got a simple wooden frame bed with a straw-filled mattress, a very interesting looking pillow, which looks like it's probably got not a whole lot in it, very thin and very soft. Single blankets. I mean, it's not cold. We're in the sort of end of summer, early sort of heading into autumn, so it's still not cold, but it seems to be warm enough. A single window in each room looking out over the main square. So the rooms are above where you were in the inn, and they all the windows look out over to the almost the southeastern side of the building, which look out over the main town square. So you generally, I mean, the windows are not great in this day and age. They're not like clear windows like we have today. They're kind of that mottled glass. Like, it's not unlike looking through like the side of a Coke bottle. I mean, the old glass Coke bottles used to get, you look through the side of those and it's kind of mottled. You can sort of see movement, and that's about it. You can open your windows. They are latched. They are a latched window. You have a simple nightstand with a single candle and a little metal candle holder in case you need to get up and use the privy during the evening. And your doors are lockable. So whether you choose to lock your doors or not is up to you.
Yep.
Let me know if you are going to lock your door, because it may or may not be a thing. So Zankus definitely locks your door. Who do you lock your door?
Locked.
Youngblood, do you lock your door?
Nah, he wouldn't care being living on the streets.
Are you wizard enough to lock your door?
No, I don't think he'd care either.
Okay.
I don't trust Arcos.
Fair call.
It's fair. I was thinking about breaking into your room, so
That's not to say that he still won't. I mean, he's a thief after all. But anywho, you eventually all find rest, and that's where we're going to take a short break, guys. We're going to take 5-10 minutes, grab a coffee, go to the toilet, do what you need to do, grab some food if you need to do it, and we will be returning very shortly with some more of our story. Does anyone need to leave early before we carry on, just so I can know what sort of roughly what time we're going to be cutting off? Does anyone need to take off early tonight? Awesome. So we can sort of just carry on until I feel like I've had enough, basically. Well, good. So we'll take 5 guys. Chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate it. Love to see you guys in the chat as usual. We've got a few lurkers in there tonight as well. We've got a few familiar faces. But Holly, Mina, Era, obviously you're here anyway. Drax, I see you in there. Riven, good to see you, buddy. Josie coming and dropped the lurk before. Vancouver's always hanging out too, so good to see you guys in the chat, but we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. What's up, chat? I am back. Just waiting on the other guys to get back from their breaks, but glad to see you guys in the chat tonight. Come and hang out with us while we tell our wee story of the lost mines of Phandalin. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves this evening. Had some pretty cool moments so far, I must say. JJ sub, but thanks for the follow as well. We did see that. Appreciate it. Mad Demon, what's up? Ozkey, mate. Sure, mate. It's turning out well. It's these guys are doing very well. I mean, after all, these guys are telling the story. I'm just sort of giving them the options to know what they're going to do. So, a lot of fun, and we enjoy it. What's up, Mad Demon? Glad to see you. Glad to see you in. Ozkey, glad to see you in as well. And Trash is back. Welcome back, Trash. Mr. Era as well. Obviously not entirely sure exactly what's going to happen next. As many of you who have played a game with Evil as a DM before, you'll probably understand by now that while I do plan certain things, most of what I do, I pull out of my ass on the night. Because why not? Because then I don't know what's going to happen.
Is that why it smells in
you
here?
up anyway.
Yes, that's why it smells in here.
Yeah, as I said, and also PCs screw you up as well.
Yes. Well, not really.
Really?
Not really. Like even when you guys decide to kill each other, it wasn't. I mean, it was unexpected, but it wasn't. It didn't really throw me. I was kind of prepared. I'm generally prepared for most things, and if I am taken unawares, I try not to let it show. So, but some things do happen that are kind of like, whoa, didn't see that coming. But I like to improv a lot. So generally a lot of little things, not major story plots, like story points, but a lot of little things that could potentially happen within a story. It's normally done in the moment because or that would be cool, so we'll do that. Just wait for Mr. JJ to return. We'll get back into it. So, guys, how's everyone in the chat doing? I hope you guys are doing really well. As I said, every Wednesday we're doing this at the moment until completion. Lost Mines of Phandelver is a starting module for D&D 5e, levels 1 through 5. It's normally done with milestone, but we're doing it with XP. So the leveling will be a little different than if you're doing it with a milestone, which is really good. Which C helps you get bonuses after sail across proficient. Oh my god. Fucking hell, Trash.
I was fucking hungry, so I quickly ate my tea.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. You're good. Fucking the worst thing we did was ask someone to tell jokes, because now Trashy's gone and found a website and is posting all sorts of weird shit in the chat. God,
sorry about Mr. Jaxie boy.
That's all good, bro. But that's the thing. It's kind of funny because we can add it into the story. Great.
I didn't know what to fucking do. I was in the middle of RP, squealing like shit. I'm just gonna quickly fucking mute myself.
That's a good thing. It's not a drama. Not a drama at all. What do you call someone who becomes a mushroom on the night of a full moon? Mycanthrope. Oh my god. Mycanthrope. Wouldn't that just be a myconid? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, come on. But anywho, enough jokes. Let's get back into the story. You guys have headed to your rooms of an evening. You've essentially, quick small recap for any new people to come in. You've made it to Phandalin. You've gone to Barthen's Provisions, and you've turned over the cart of goods to the proprietor. And he told you to come back in a few hours, but you didn't do. We probably kind of skipped over it a little bit, but you do still have payment owing for that. You've since met up with Sildar Hallwinter, who was Gundren Rockseek as your benefactor's escort at the Stonehill Inn, and he has paid you 50 gold for rescuing him.
Hang on. What do we still owe for that?
You don't owe anything. They owe you.
Okay.
I mean, you can pay them if you want. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, we might enter into some negotiations, I think.
I'm an asshat, though.
But anywho, during the evening, who did not lock their doors? Arcos and Youngblood did not lock your doors. Okay. Firstly, I'll go around everyone. Zankus, do you go straight to sleep? Or is there anything you wish to do during the evening, perhaps?
I'll go straight off to sleep.
Okay. And you locked your door.
Yes.
Not a problem. Who? Did you go right to sleep?
So instead of actually laying down in the bed, I'll actually grab onto the side of the bed instead of laying down, and actually like perch on the side of the bed, facing the door.
Easily enough done.
And pretty much doze off for the night.
No problem. Easily done. You also locked your door.
Yep.
Youngblood, do you just crawl into bed and go to sleep?
Yeah, pretty much. He's had a couple of drinks.
And you did not lock your door. Arcos, what is Arcos getting up to? What is his nightly routine? I mean, he's a bit inebriated as well. So does he go right to sleep? What does he get up to before actually getting there?
So Arcos will look at, like, as he's heading up, he'll look at the other doors, and he'll dig around in his bag and he'll think about it, and I'm like, nah, fuck him. And then he'll go to his room and he'll deliberately not lock it, but he's going to grab a fistful of ball bearings from his bag and he's going to put them across the floor. Because if someone wants to come in, he'd rather they came in and he knew about it.
Yep. No problem.
That's what he's going to do.
So, Arcos, I will get you to roll a perception check, please. Now, will it be at advantage or disadvantage? This is the question. You are inebriated, so sleep would be a little heavier than usual, I'd imagine. But you're also, with your background, I'd say you're generally used to sleeping in this state, I would imagine.
Yeah, inebriation is his state of...
we'll make it a straight roll. So just roll a straight perception check for me. Still not very good. Still, I mean, bad, good, it's all relative.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, you're not disturbed throughout the evening. At one point, you are woken. Not fully woken, but you sort of stir as you do hear something. Is it the ball bearings? You're not entirely sure. You hear something that kind of wakes you. You sort of sit up, half pie, half asleep, sort of quick look around the room. You don't notice anything. And then I'd say you'd probably eventually just say, fuck it, and go back to sleep. You will get the benefits of a long rest. Not that I don't think you really need it. I think we still haven't really done much tonight, so you won't need to actually do that on your sheets. But Youngblood, when you get up in the morning, you get yourself organised. You get dressed and you get your pack on. You notice your pack's a little lighter than what it was the night before. And you go through your pack. Just feels odd. You think that's not right. You go through it. You notice your rope's missing. You notice you had a small knife in there. That's missing. Your tinderbox is missing. Your torches are missing. Almost half of the stuff that were in your pack has gone missing. It's not there anymore. And you think, shit. So you start going. You go to your coin pouch. Open your coin pouch. All your gold's gone. How does Youngblood react when he realizes that pretty much most of his pack is now gone?
He's gonna check it all. Just fucking really, he's gonna get really angry. Just yelling. Who the fuck stole me fucking shit, motherfucker?
All of
He's
you
just
on the
gonna
second
yell.
floor, which would be all of you at this point, would be woken by
I'm pretty loud.
Youngblood literally packing a wobbly in his room. He's probably
Pretty much.
biffed a stool across the room and he's turned his bed upside down. He's really going to town in his room. He is not happy.
Then the alarmy head goes off finally. So, yeah, I'm gonna basically get out of sleep and unlock the door as quick as I can and blot out into the corridor to find out what all the ruckus is about.
And as you get down to Youngblood's room, you push open, well, the door's probably open, and you just see him. He's in a full-on rage in the center of his room.
What's up, mate? What's up?
Oh, fucking who? Someone fucking stole me shit. I got no more gold. Fucking half me shit out. Me pack's fucking gone. Someone's fucking robbed me.
About this time, I'll go there, probably catch the last bit of the conversation there.
Oh, he's loud enough. You guys will probably hear him through the wall. Like, the walls here aren't thick at all.
Have you asked Arcos?
No. I just found it all and fucking tore me fucking room up. Fucking,
He's
I
a
don't
thief.
make money very often and fucking got all stolen.
I'd ask Arcos.
I doubt he would have known anything. But I'll go try, so he'll get up, go to room 3 to find him. I'll bang his door. Oi, wake up!
With that, I head downstairs.
So, point is, did Arcos wake with the first ruckus, and was he listening to what was being said, or was he still asleep and woken by the banging on his door?
And so Arcos would have been woken up by the first bit. He's like, oh, that sounds like a problem for about half an hour from now. And he sort of would have rolled over and tried to ignore it.
And about 10 minutes after that, probably 5 minutes after that, you get bang, 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 bang on your door.
What is it?
I got fucking robbed. Do you know anything about it?
No, I've been in here. I was going to stay in here for a bit.
Oh.
Hey, I'm a bit insulted by that.
Hey, listen to Blue Man. I'm pissed off. Blue Man told me to check on you, so I didn't know what to fucking do.
That blue piece of shit.
Well, did you hear
Why
anything?
would you-
You're a fucking
No.
rogue.
I
You
ain't got
fucking
your
rob
stuff.
people for a living.
That's beside the point at this juncture, mate. I didn't take your stuff. I gave you 40 gold, sight out of mind, the other day. Like, if I was going to rob you, I certainly wouldn't have just handed money to you, would I?
At this point, Arcos, you notice that your ball bearings are missing off the floor by your door.
Oh, someone stole me balls. Oh, great. What are you laughing at?
Young blood would turn to anger and laugh, and it's like, you lost your balls?
Yeah, I put not those balls, you cheeky sod. I put ball bearings on the floor.
So wait,
You got to give
you
people the
got robbed
opportunity
too?
to rob you. Well, probably. I've got to check my shit, don't I?
Go on then.
Do you check your bag?
Yeah.
So you roll out of bed, you open your pack, you find in your pack nothing's missing. In fact, quite the opposite. You have a whole bunch of extra shit in your bag. Stuff that's not yours. Well, not stuff that you had. It may be yours, you're not entirely sure. You got some extra torches. Looks like you got twice as much rope as you had before. You look at wherever you stash your coin, and you got 20 gold more than you should have. That's odd.
Young blood would be looking over here. He'd be like noticing all the stuff he's got extra and stuff here.
Have you actually gone into the room? I think you guys were still talking through the door.
No way.
Because he didn't open the door to you. So, I mean,
So have you lost anything or what?
Oh shit! I've turned into a fucking midnight kleptomaniac. Fucking hell! That big fella's just out the door. I'm gonna be completely nicked. I'm in a bit of a predicament here. Just give me a sec. Oh, fuck me.
What are you talking about? A predicament? I just seen you.
You never saw me. I was in here. Just
Didn't you
hang
open
on.
the door?
I ain't got no pants on. Fucking hell, mate. I'm gonna open the window.
You gotta find your balls put in stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna open the window and I'm gonna dump his stuff out.
including the gold?
Oh, no, not the gold.
So you're gonna dump the
I'm
extra
not-
stuff out: the torches, the tinderbox, the small knife, the rope.
Does he have anything that looks fancy? I might keep
No,
that.
it's all again. It's all pretty mundane stuff. Like it's just basic gear. But
Yeah,
the
I
gold,
just
the
sort of
gold is
like-
definitely the one that's probably got you most perplexed. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, and then I sort of look outside and I remember the rough guys outside, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not chucking 20 gold on the floor. That's a bit stupid. Sort of close it and sort of like get myself together and sort of open the door, like half get my pants on. I'm like, all right, mate, what's the fucking hurry? I'm not an early riser.
Did you find anything? Did you get robbed? You said your balls are missing.
No, I must not have put them out. You know, I was pretty trashed last night.
How could you go from missing balls to forgetting? You didn't put them out.
I checked my bag and all my balls are there, mate.
So you didn't get robbed.
No, I didn't get robbed.
And you didn't rob me.
No, I didn't rob you. I was half cut, mate. I was out.
So what we're gonna do here is, JJ, I'm gonna bring up a roll for you. You're gonna make that roll for me, that insight check. Arcos, yours not really a deception check because, as far as you're aware, you didn't rob him. So 12. I would say for you, let's make a persuasion. Actually, no, let's make a deception with advantage because, for all intents and purposes, you didn't steal from him as far as you're aware. So I'll give you the deception at advantage. Yeah, so Youngblood. He seems to be on the level. Like he definitely did not steal from you as far as he's got no tells. Like you find him really hard to read anyway. You've only just met him, so it's not like you know the guy very well that he would give away certain tells. But he seems on the level that he's emphatic that he did not steal from you.
It's all right, mate. It's all right. I'll help you find your shit. I've had stuff taken from me before. I know what it's like. You feel violated, right? It's all right. And I sort of pat him and I try and palm his gold back to him. I'm like, mate, it's all right. Come on.
All right, this one's an easy one. This one's an easy one for you. If this goes badly, I'm going to be so sorry for you. Sleight of hand from Arcos here against Youngblood's passive, which I have. Oh shit. What's Youngblood's passive? Well, Youngblood. He pats you on, because you're shorter than him, so you're sort of patting him on the hip, I would say, because that's kind of what you're going for. He sort of pats you on the hip, and you sort of, all right, okay, cool. You seem kind of convinced, and you go to turn at that point to sort of start heading downstairs, perhaps get some breakfast, try and figure out what's going on, and you hear a jingle as you turn, and you look, and your coin purse is on your belt, and you look, you're confused because You're bloody sure it wasn't there a minute ago. It wasn't there when you got up. You're sure it wasn't there. You did have a bit to drink. Unfortunately, your perception wasn't. You guys are pretty evenly matched here, so you're not 100% sure whether it was him or whether it wasn't him. You just know that your coin purse is back. That's all you know at this point.
You're right there, mate. You're right there, young blood. It's all right.
I could have fucking swore this money bag wasn't here.
Mate,
Money
you
back.
You were so half cut, mate. You probably couldn't have found your arsehole with both hands last night.
I was only a little bit tipsy. It wasn't that bad, I swear.
I don't know, mate. You put a few back while we're waiting for feathers.
I had one extra drink, I swear. Did you sneak me? Did you buy me more?
And those other really off-colored jokes you told, I mean, it just got worse. It's all right. We'll find your stuff. I got some extra stuff. I got some cool stuff in my bag here from my travels. You know, maybe we share the love a bit.
Yeah.
So who you're standing here watching all this too, like you're just seeing this go backwards and forwards. Now your passive perception is high enough to have seen what Arcos did, so you know he just put the coin purse back on Youngblood's hip. Whether you say anything is completely up to you at this point. But you did see it. You clocked it. You're muted, bud.
I just walked down and go to get breakfast and just let it go.
Zankus had already left, so he didn't see it. But yeah, you definitely clocked him putting the money back. So that's a tidbit for you for later on, perhaps.
Yep.
But eventually, you guys sort of backwards and forwards, and you do end up going down for breakfast. You get some coffee. Arcos, you're a little bit headachy. Not too bad. You're not seriously hungover. You didn't drink enough to get really fully hungover. And not only that, you're used to drinking rum. Ale's a whole different kettle of fish. Rum's a lot harder. You're used to drinking a lot of rum on your travels. So you're not feeling too bad. But you down breakfast, you get yourselves organised. And what I will get Arcos to make is just make a quick insight check for me. As you're mulling over what's happened. Ball bearings go missing. You find the shit in your pack. Youngblood's had shit stolen. It just doesn't sit right with you for some reason. And you're sitting there over breakfast, over coffee, and you're thinking to yourself, nah, someone definitely came and fucking someone did this. Someone stole the stuff from him and put it in my fucking pack. Someone's trying to cause some problems here. Who would do that? I would say your mind would, I'll leave it up to you where your mind goes with that at this point. But you've got maybe a couple of ideas. Perhaps. I'll leave that with you for now.
Yep.
You guys finish your breakfast. Sildar comes down, and you can see he's now armored up. He's got his longsword, a longsword, not the ones he wore when you met him, but he's got new armor. He's got a shield, longsword. He's got himself all armored up, ready to set out for the day and do whatever needs to be done. He sort of spies you guys. Morning. Hope we're well rested. Never know what we might find at wherever we head out, to the castle perhaps. I'm not sure what you exactly have planned. You might want to do some more investigating around town maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. But I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Need to look for my shit first.
I had some interesting stuff go on last night, and I shoot a sideways look at Arcos.
Oh yes. Everything okay? I presume.
Keep your swivelly ass head turned the other way, fellas.
Things missing and stuff going on.
Well,
Things missing and somehow coming back.
You do have to be careful with your belongings here in Phandalin. And, I mean, there is an element here, of course. You've been told about the red brands, of course. I mean, steer clear of the stone giant. Don't antagonize the individuals if you can help it.
Don't antagonize. Oh shit. That's kind of what we do. I mean, maybe not. No, Feathers is starting to get to me this morning too. Maybe we are very antagonistic.
Well, so what are our plans then, gentlemen?
I don't fucking know. I just want to find my shit.
Head to this abandoned place, I guess.
I mean, we probably should find his stuff, yeah? We can't have people stealing from us.
He might need it later.
Yeah, what sort of
Fucking
stuff
don't
we
need it.
talking about?
Did you lock your room?
I don't think to lock my room. I don't get robbed when I was fucking on the streets. I don't think I get robbed in my own damn room.
Then it's your own fault. Can we move along now?
Look, if someone's going to rob you, if they've got a mind to rob you, it doesn't matter if your fucking door's locked, does it? Does it? If someone's going to rob you, they're gonna try and rob you.
Less likely to happen.
All right, we'll see how that goes for you then.
Easy target.
We'll see how that goes for you, huh?
Fucking easy target. Fuck you,
Listen to
Blue
him.
Man.
I mean, Sildar Pipe says, you're an odd one, Zankus. I mean, that kind of talk would, I mean, just from my own experience, it is the kind of talk that one who would steal from someone who does not lock their door would say. Wouldn't you agree, gentlemen? Seems a little strange.
Exactly. And I was just thinking.
Just like the 40 gold that you got last night, if I remember correctly. I only received 1 gold. How many did everybody else receive?
Well, someone fucking can't count for a start. It was 50.
It was
And
49
yeah.
actually, because he gave one away.
You can have your. I don't know about you. I mean, I've got it. Like, I don't mind giving it to these fellas. Even fucking Feathers here is giving me the side eye. Here, and I'll, hand out. What, 12? 12 sounds good.
Yeah.
Not to you though. I want an apology, and then you can have your gold. It'll be fine. That's all.
I talked to our guest. How much gold was it that you gave Arcos last night?
He's quite right. You can't really count very well, young man. It was 50 gold.
And he's just put 12 on the table.
Well, 12 in front of those two, yeah.
He's given them 12. Yes, 12. It appears 12 gold apiece. That's 36, which would leave, I would say, what, 24? Well, actually 14 if you want to be not entirely correct. Can't really. I mean, you can try and split the evens to odds if you really wish, but it appears all he's asking for is an apology for the accusation.
You besmirch my good character, sir, and I need a recompense. That's the word, right? You're a fancy fella, aren't you, Sildar? The recompense.
It seems appropriate, I would assume. I mean, I am sitting here kind of wondering what I've hired now, but better to get this out of the way now than in the middle of a battle, I would assume.
Look, it works when it works, Sildar. It works when it works.
Look, we're odd, but when shit goes down,
I do not
we get shit
disagree,
done.
young Furbolg. Odd indeed.
You'll get no apology from me. Can we just go now?
I mean, yeah, sure.
And keep your gold.
All right.
What about Youngblood stuff? We're going to look for that first, or?
I'll walk
Yeah.
by myself if I have to.
Well, if we need to, again, if you wish to meet, maybe at Barton's Provisions in a short while, you can find your friend's belongings and meet me there if you wish, and we will proceed from there and head out to investigate the Cragmore
We do.
Castle.
We do have to go back to Barthens anyway, so
Well,
That we
jolly
do.
good. We will meet you there and say maybe an hour or so. Take a bit of your time you need to find your friend's equipment, of course.
Thank you. We'll see you in about an hour then, mate.
And he gets up. Sort of, he gives you all a look. I mean, he's not fixating on any one of you at this point. Like, he gives Zankus a sort of a look like, don't be a wanker. But he also gives the same look to Arcos briefly. and then sort of looks at Youngblood and almost raises an eyebrow at Youngblood and Who, and sort of turns and walks out, leaving you guys at the table once again.
What do you think? I think he likes us.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't have to like us, just has to pay us.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna get up, look for my shit. Go look for me.
Yeah,
rope.
I left some stuff up in my room. I'll be, and Blue Man, and I'm like, just chuck like 11 gold at his face. I'm like, have your fucking money, you son of a bitch. I'll just go back up to my room.
Cling, 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 as the gold sort of hits you chest and face here and sort of lands on the table and in your lap.
The coins that are scattered all over the place, I'll use my chain to pick them all up.
Okay. Easily enough done. Arcos, I'll leave you guys there for a minute. Arcos, you head back up to your room. What are you up to?
What's the drop out of the window?
Second story, so you're probably looking at about, I'd say, 12 feet? 10, 12 feet?
Would he jump out, or would he... I'd sort of like try and climb out the window and sort of like slide down the wall, maybe.
Where you are, you could climb out the window onto a bit of a, almost like the roof. Like the rooms are smaller than the inn itself, so the windows are sort of set back off the edge. So you can climb out of the window onto it's like a 2-foot wide sort of section of roof before it then drops down to the floor, to the ground below. So I would say you'd easily get out of the window. No dramas there. You could probably hang and drop down your 3 foot. Yeah, you probably only be dropping about 8 feet if you were to hang first.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably find a drain pipe. There are sort of makeshift guttering on the thing as well, so you could probably climb down a drain pipe easily enough too with your dexterity.
Yeah.
I won't even
Sort of take it slow.
No check necessary. It's something that you're fairly dexterous. You're generally apt to finding footholds and handholds and things like that. And a drain pipe's relatively easy to climb. With your weight, it wouldn't be a huge issue.
Yeah. Big question: is his stuff still there?
Seems to be. No one seems to be. No one seems to have gone around the rear of the building at this point. It's not at the front of the building, isn't it? This is actually at the front of the building. The windows look out over the front, not the rear. That was my mistake. Yep. So it appears that most of it looks like it's still there. It's kind of hard to tell from up where you are. The tinderbox got jammed in the gutter, so you've managed to get that before heading down. Once you get down there, the small knife is there, sort of almost fell down between like the veranda and where a water trough would be, where someone would like tie up a horse. Sort of find it. It takes you a little bit to find, but you get most of it. A couple of torches are missing, but for the bulk part, you've got pretty much the gear that was missing.
All right. And then I'll try and climb back into my room, which will be harder than getting down, I would imagine.
Yes, it would be. So that will be a dex check, I think, here. So will be acrobatics, I believe, or athletics. Athletics, because you're climbing up.
Ah, shit.
It's less about dexterity than it is about strength, unfortunately.
And I ain't got none of that.
Oh, Fuck off, cat.
I wish I was a cat. I'm about to climb this rope. No problems.
I got a cat on my lap. He's wet because it's been raining. So, unfortunately, with a 6, yeah, damn, 6. Takes you get up there, but it takes you a lot longer than you anticipated, and it was a little noisy. So you guys sitting in the main inn, you hear this rattling, like this heard of a rattle come from the front of the inn. You can't see what's happening because again the windows are kind of mottled and you can't really see out. The front door is closed, but you hear the rattling of sort of tin against wood. Goes on for about 6 or 7 minutes and then it slowly stops. But then you do hear something above you. Maybe like something was on the roof, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe you're not sure what it might be. It could be an animal. But you do hear that sort of thump on a roof. And I'd say as Arcos got up to the top of the guttering, he stumbled and fell forward, and it's like thump on the roof as you sort of gathered yourself, made it back to your window, and eventually made it back into your room. So you guys down in the inn would have heard that sort of ruckus. You wouldn't know what it was, but it definitely was weird, to say the least.
I'm just going to keep heading out towards, because it's an inn. You know, lots of noises in the inn.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm just going to keep heading towards the door to chat out and help Youngblood look for his stuff.
Youngblood be inside, just asking around. Have you like seen if anyone else got robbed and trying to find out stuff?
So Toblin sort of expresses extreme concern that one of his patrons has been robbed, and apologizes profusely. And he seems rather genuinely upset that someone in his establishment got robbed. But again mentions the Red Brands, but the only people in town that could possibly do that would be the Red Brands. The Red Brands are responsible for everything that goes wrong in Phandalin. But he again begs you not to make waves with the Red Brands in case it draws ramifications on him and his family. But that's about it. No one else really around sort of pays much mind to you. Like, there's a couple of people there having breakfast, and you walk up to them and ask them, and you just get the cold shoulder. Like, why are you talking to me? I'm having breakfast. Leave me the fuck alone. Kind of deal. I said it's a pretty rough town. So eventually you guys head out the front. By this stage, Arcos is back. You're back in your room. You've got the gear. What are you doing now, Arcos?
I was at the table when Youngblood got his room key.
Yes, you know what room is his.
So I'm going to first look around to see if anyone's up on that level.
You peer outside, doesn't seem to be anyone around. There's only 5 rooms, so there's only one room that you guys don't have, which I believe was room 2.
So I'm gonna sort of have my key out and make it look like I'm trying to open the door with the key, and then I'm gonna try and lockpick the door.
Did Youngblood lock his door when he left this morning, or did he leave it unlocked again?
No, he would have left unlocked, just running around, fucking furious. Not even thinking about that.
No need. As you go try the door, it opens.
Yeah, unlocked. So I'll try and then I'll be like, "You fucking idiot." And then I'll sort of nudge it open with my foot, and I'll just try and find a good place to stash his stuff.
There's not much in, there's not much in the room. So you've got a bed. You've got an under the bed. There's a small table with a chair. This place has been pretty well turned upside down though. Like, he had absolute shit fit.
Everything's turned upside down.
He had an absolute shit fit when he found out he'd been robbed. So everything in this room has been tossed. So it's a pretty big mess.
Yeah.
It's probably a single wardrobe, like a single door small wardrobe, which is now lying on the floor with its door hanging open as well.
So I'll chuck some of it under the bed that he's turned over.
Okay.
His rope, I'm gonna crack open the window and have it hanging out the window. I'm just gonna make it look like someone's done something weird in his room.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna leave.
Let's get a... Well, what could we call this? We could
Where's
call
the
it
fuckery check when you need one?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, we could call it. We could call it a
okay,
deception
deception.
check because you're trying to make it look like something else. So we'll make it a deception. Yeah, I think we'll make it a deception check
Nice.
because yeah, you're trying to make it look like it's pretty good. 19. You stand back, sort of look at it and go, yeah, I'd believe it.
Yeah.
So with that, you're quite happy that you've now staged the scene as best you can, and you head back downstairs.
Which room was he in again?
I believe he was in room 3. No, you
I
were
was
in
in
room
room
3. 5. He was in room 5. Who was in room 1?
So not with that one room in between, because I was thinking about it. I'm like, if he was in room 1 and I was in room 3, yeah, maybe room 2 is worth a look. But since he wasn't,
so you were in 3, he was in 5, and Zankus was in 4.
Zankus was in 4, yeah.
And who was
All
in
right,
1?
I just look very proud of myself. I will go back and make sure my door is locked.
No worries.
And I will head downstairs.
And once you head downstairs, you probably get downstairs about the time you see these guys sort of heading out the front door.
Wait for me, fellas. I'm ready. We had any luck? Did we ask the people here?
Yeah, I asked. No one wanted to help. Bartender said sorry, and he's scared I'm going to go out Red Brand. But other than that, no one really helped out.
It's a bit like that in this town, it seems.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And you head out. So where are you heading first? What are you going to try and search for your gear outside?
Yeah, I'll do a little bit of a search, nothing too serious.
Okay.
It's kind of just at the giving up stage.
Okay, so if you're all working together on this, we'll get a group perception check. Just as you having a look around. I mean, Arcos is probably feigning having a good look around, but we'll get everyone to roll it anyway. There's some good rolls there, all over 10. Youngblood, what you do find is you find a single torch. Looks like it was jammed under the veranda. Like you only just saw the end of it, and you sort of bend down, and you grab it out, and you thought, could be yours. I mean, torches look most torches look the same. It could be yours. You're not entirely sure, but you'll take it. Why not? And it was sort of it was definitely out the front of the inn, below where all the windows look out over Phandalin. That's about all you guys find. You have a bit of a look around, and there's some pretty gross stuff under that veranda, but stuff you don't want to touch. But you do find that one torch.
Hey guys, I found one torch. It's better than nothing, right?
That is true. That is true. If it was mundane stuff, right? Like, general adventuring.
Then why don't we just go buy the stuff and get the hell out of here?
I mean, if I was gonna take it, like, you'd just fence it, wouldn't you? You'd sell it to, like, we could go to Barthen's. They probably sold it back to that old bugger.
Yeah, just the ropes and some tins and stuff like that, and just so I got my money back. So all he cared about. I thought I'd have a quick look, maybe find out who maybe did it. Fucking, who knows, man? I'm happy with one torch. Let's keep going.
So we're heading to Barthen's, I assume. So as you make your way back to Barthen's Provisions, you get there, and standing inside is none other than Sildar Hallwinter himself, and he's talking to the proprietor. I forget his first name, Elmar. And they sort of stop the conversation as you enter, And Silda says, so are we ready? Are we ready to go?
Oh, yeah, we're ready. I just thought, you'd already dealt with him like that day. I thought maybe we'd come back the next day and maybe he'd simmer down a bit and, we'd start again, like a fresh start, right?
Good morning. You didn't come back yesterday, so but I have your gold ready for you.
Yeah. That is great.
I reach over to put my hand out for the gold. Because at this stage, I'm not trusting Arcos.
Elmer Barthen sort of looks at you, gives you a little bit of a sideways look as you sort of reach forward, hand out before he's even got the gold out onto the counter. He says, "Oh, you're a bit of a keen one, aren't you?
Stop being rude, Blue Man.
Take a step back, young man. Just give me a moment." And he reaches under the counter, and he opens up it and he counts out. And what he does is he counts out 4 piles of 12 gold. It was for 50. I mean, but obviously 50 doesn't go 4 ways, unfortunately. Hang on a moment. As he counts out 12 gold, 50 silver each. So you should better add the silver to your sheets as well.
Very good.
Is anything else that I can do for you before you head out with Mr. Fallwinter and find our dear friend Gundren?
My friend here, the big fella, he had his stuff nicked last night. Did you have anyone maybe sell you some secondhand adventuring equipment?
What do I look like? A pawnbroker? I don't buy secondhand equipment.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like to judge.
I mean, the Lion Shield Costa might buy such things, but no, I sell good quality adventuring items. I mean, as you can see, reasonable prices. I mean, if you need some items, I can. If you let me know what you're missing, I could probably replace them for you at a good price. After all, you did return with the cart, and you did let us know about these missing supplies as well. So, I mean, I would be more than happy to make you a good deal.
Yep, just keep my part of the money. Give me a couple of ropes. Give me a couple of torches. Give me a tin thing. Can't remember what's fucking called.
Tinderbox.
A tinderbox.
So you replace your tinderbox.
The stuff that I had.
Yeah. So essentially, whatever you was missing has been replaced, and he won't take all of your gold. He'll say to you, he will ask for 5 gold, not for the full 12. So you just remove 5 gold from your inventory. And because I didn't remove any of that stuff from inventory, because we'll leave it at that. So all that stuff's been replaced, and he's only charged you 5 gold for it.
From how much should they give, sir?
So he gave you 12 gold, 50 silver. So that'll leave you, if you take 5 off, that will leave you 8 gold, 50 silver. 7 gold, 50 silver, sorry.
It's the SP silver.
Yes, indeed.
So 8.
That's in NZ dollars.
It's in Monopoly money, mate.
That's worse, isn't it?
I think Monopoly money is worth more than New Zealand dollars.
Yeah, true.
So that's all been replaced for you. As you guys are dealing with that, that's fine. Sildar's just waiting patiently for you to finish your transaction, and he turns and says to you, well, Cragmore's a reasonable distance away, but we could make it on foot in reasonable time, unless you wish to maybe purchase horses and maybe go on horseback. Completely up to you.
I don't mind a bit of walking, a bit of exercise. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, horses are extra care.
How much are the horses?
Well, I mean, we'll have to go buy the horses, of course, but it's, I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it'd be probably 15 to 20 gold each, I would imagine.
Spending
So
more
we'll
money
just
on damn
walk.
horse.
Cheaper to walk.
Keep it a walk, no problem. So, Sildar informs you roughly how far it is to Cragmore. He says you've got to go north back to the Treeball Trail, which will take you a day. And it'll probably take you another day on foot, probably 2 to 2.5 days to reach Cragmore, or to reach the area of the forest where the old Cragmore Castle is. But it should be a relatively easy journey. You might get the occasional wolves, a bear or two perhaps, who knows. But it'll take a couple of days at least. And so are we all ready to depart then? You've got supplies, you've all got weapons and such. Make sure we're all fully prepared. Enough rations to keep you going for at least a couple of 3 days.
Yep. Let's go.
Great. Well
Is
done.
there anywhere to pick up health potions? I'm one short from the two I had.
Oh, that might be the Lion Shield Costa as well. Elma, would that be correct? Would Lion Shield Costa be where we'd perhaps get some potions? So, and Barthen sort of says, well, yes, I believe you're quite correct, Sildar. They do have some potions there. I mean, reasonable prices too, I fear. That would be the place you'd want to go. And your name was again, I forgive me, I'm being so rude. I did not get any of your names earlier. If we're going to be continuing to do business, I would like to at least be on some term of formal acquaintance. As I said, my name's Elmer Barthen, proprietor here. And you are, and he sort of motions to you, who?
Who?
You, sir. You are.
Who?
You.
Me is who?
Yes, who are you? Sir, your name, please, if you will.
Just call me
his
Feathers.
name. That's
Just
his
call me
name.
Feathers.
Feather, well, pleasure to make your acquaintance, Feathers. And you, sir, the small, furry, rabbit folk. You seem to be the smarter of the bunch. And your name, please, if you will.
Arcos.
A pleasure, Arcos. And you, what is your... Yes, you, as Zankus looks up from counting his gold.
Anxus.
Well, a pleasure, Zanxus. He sort of, like, you get the impression he's really kind of standoffish with you for whatever reason.
Is that the first time we've heard his name?
Yes, it is.
And all this time I thought your name was Fuckstick.
He told you his last name.
Yeah.
So you knew him as Tall Fellow prior, now you know his first name. But you are quite correct, it's the first time you've heard him say his actual name. And then Elmer turns to you, young blood, and you, tall one, and your name. You seem rather polite. What is your name, young man?
You young blood. There you go, mate.
Interesting. A pleasure, all of you. Well, most of you. I wish you all good fortune in your travels, and I really do wish that you find Master Gundren and bring him home safely. I'm sure that he'll be most grateful. Lion Shield Costa for potions, young Mr. Feathers. Yes, that was your name. That's where you want to go for those.
Okay. So, we're going for top-ups.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I don't have much either. Better go get some more. Don't
So,
want to die out there, do we?
you leave. We'll go back to our travel map.
Quick question: how many can you
trouble,
carry on your belt?
2 would be the maximum I would say that you'd be able to carry
2?
on your belt.
Okay, cool.
You can carry more in your pack. What I say by belt, if you carry 2 on your belt, it means that you'll be able to use them yourself as a bonus action or as an action on someone else. Any more than that, if they're in your pack, it'll take your entire action to utilize them from your pack.
Yeah, well, I have one on my belt, which I used the last one in the last battle.
So, you now make your way. You guys were at Barthen's. You make your way back down past the Stonehill Inn, and you end up in the main square. And right sort of about here, as you pass through the square, those that have been here before obviously will recognize the shrine. It's like it's a small shrine made of stones, which have been taken from old ruins, it seems. It looks. It's just a makeshift temple, if you will, but it's just a little shrine where you can see people have left offerings and things as as those that have religion do. And you'd probably understand that more than anyone as a cleric. Quite often offerings are left at where you trained, where your temple is. People are asking for favor from the gods.
Would there be somebody there that I could give some silver to?
Doesn't appear to be at this point, but there is an offering plate, and it by the looks of it, no one's taking stuff from here. There is a small offering plate. There's some gemstones, there's some flowers, there's a bit of food. There is some coin in the offering plate as well. It seems even the red brands won't defile this. I'm going
to leave 5 silver.
Okay, no worries. So you can mark that off your sheet. So I mean, you might be able to find the person that tends this later on, perhaps, but at the moment it doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Yep.
So you pass the shrine. You guys watch as one sort of takes a bit of a wide berth around where you guys are here and drops a few coins into an offering plate at this small temple. Whether he says any words in offering to his own deity, who knows? But he seems to make a point of dropping those coins into that little tray. You do then move to another large building. Hanging above the front door of this building is a sign which is shaped like a wooden shield with a blue lion painted on it, which you can only assume is the Lion Shield Costa. The building is a modest building, and as you walk inside, a little bell dingles on the door as you go in, and you see a relatively, I think she's a youngish woman. Let's bring her description up here. Yes, very sharp featured, youngish looking woman, quite reasonably tall, short dark hair. In fact, I can show you exactly what she looks like. Reasonably attractive, but again, very sharp features and a very sharp sort of looking face, like she's not smiling. Very intense looking individual. And she looks over at you, and as she turns, you see the hair's not short at all. It's actually quite long, but it's tied up in quite of a tight bun at the back, which is kind of pulling it away from her face, making it look short. And she sort of, as the bell, she turns. Yes, may I help you?
We're in need of some health potions. Do you have any?
Isn't everybody? Of course. Please come in. And she moves in. She picks up a container from a glass cabinet from behind the thing, pulls it out on a table in front of you. So, how many would you be after? Be precise.
I'd like to get 3, please. What would be the price for that?
So what you should be able to do, Era, is if you go to the compendiums, not the compendiums, the journal entries. So on the top of your Foundry, you'll see an emblem looks like a book.
Yep, got it.
And you'll see Lion Shield Costa in there.
Yep, got it.
Click on that.
Yep.
And what you will be able to do is, in that list, you should scroll down, you'll be able to see the potions of healing.
Yep.
And you should see an option there if you hover over it to purchase said items. I think it's like a hand or something like that, from memory.
Yep.
So whatever you wish to purchase, you'll see the prices there. If you click on what you want to purchase and how many, it should give me an option to approve it. And it'll go directly to your inventory and deduct the gold, hopefully.
Okay.
So all of you are able to do that if you're wishing to purchase any of the items from this particular store.
This will be a split purchase. So that's that one and one. Okay, I'm done.
So you've bought one there. So here we go. Accept.
So it's two medium healing and one light healing.
So it's only done the one light, so you might need to do the two medium again.
Okay, cool.
Because the medium healings come up. JJ, you wanted two medium? Yep. So
it says I cannot afford it now.
How much gold did you have? Yeah, it's 30 gold. It's 30 gold for the two medium.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll buy two more of the light healing. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yep. So they have limited stock. So she does tell you that we, as far as the bigger potions are concerned, only have limited.
Sorry, mate. There's still something happening. It's saying I don't even have enough to get the two.
Hang on. How much gold have you got?
It says I've got 49, but I didn't update. Oh, I didn't update it in I updated it on my sheet, not in WhatsApp. That's probably why.
According to your sheet, you only have 7 gold left.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Did you do it in D&D Beyond instead of in?
I did it in D&D. Okay. Yeah,
so how much have you got? How much have you got in total in D&D Beyond?
It's 40. There's 49 gold.
So you'll be down to 41. All right, I'll fix it up on the sheet here because it'll be a little quicker, and then you should be good.
All right, thanks.
See, now should be good. To buy.
Okay, so I should be able to get 2 of these ones.
Yes. There's only 1 medium left. That's why you've only been able to get 1.
Okay.
He's now out of the medium, but she still has 9 light and 2 superior.
And the light went through, correct?
Yes, the light went through. It did.
Okay. I just bought you light and nothing happened.
Because I haven't accepted it yet.
Okay, accept it then.
Wait your turn. Impatient shit.
Fine. I'm gangster, so I'm always impatient.
Yes, you are. So, have you've got what you wanted, Era?
Yep, sure do, mate.
So there's Xanxus. Arcos, are you purchasing anything, sir?
Yeah. I shall purchase 1 superior and 2 light.
You go grab those.
No.
Welcome, Raiders, to Arcos Puck. Here we go. One superior and 2 light healing potions. A pleasure doing business with all of you, I'm sure. Make sure you return to Lion Shield Costa whenever you need more adventuring gear. We have weapons, we have armor. We do restock our potions on occasion. It does take some time, as potions take time to make, of course. But a pleasure, indeed. Now get the hell out of my shop. And she sort of turns and heads back to whatever she was doing.
You okay there, miss? You seem a bit grumpy. Were you hurt
Perfectly
your
fine.
feelings?
It's fine. You finished spending your money. You got no business being here anymore. Toodaloo.
Okay. See you, miss.
Hi.
Yeah, she definitely seems a little off. Sildar sort of says to you guys, he leans over and says, pay no mind. She's been under a little stress. Normally she's much more polite. You'll maybe understand a bit later, but it pays not to press it.
There's a lot of shit going on in this town.
You just whisper back, is this the red brand again?
What was that, youngblood?
You'll whisper back when he comes in close, like it's got to do with the red brand again?
Oh, no. This is something, again, it's not something I mean, it's not for me to discuss, shall we say.
No,
you may be able to talk, get to know her, you might be able to talk to her later. And as you leave the Lion Shield Costa, heading out into the main area once again, you are stopped in the street. As you turn and head back out in the street, you see 4 or 5 rather well-armed individuals. Sildar says, oh, shit. And a familiar face among them, the bugbear that you'd seen the day before. A familiar figure to you, Arcos, the hooded individual that you were accosted by at the rear of the inn the night before also. This time hood down, but masks still covering most of their face. They're all wearing, some of them wearing sort of mottled armor, but the two main, like this guy in the cloak is wearing very fine dark grey leather armor. Arcos, I'll get you to make a quick perception check for me, please. It's a very good perception check. He's wearing sort of 3/4 sleeves, and as he takes a step forward and politely says, well, you probably should not have stayed. I did warn you not to bring the ire of the red brand. Yet you are still here. Maybe it was not clear enough.
Tell me to leave.
Obviously subtleties are lost on the like of you and your companions.
Absolutely.
So let's be less subtle. And as he sort of gestures with his hands, you notice it, plain as day. Small tattoo on the inside of his right forearm. Symbol you know all too well.
You shadowy fuck.
I did tell you.
I'm about to tell you too, buddy.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. And that's where we'll call tonight's session, ladies and gentlemen. Because I'm going to need to prepare this, because I think I'm going to need to make a map of the town square. Because I didn't know this was going to happen.
I was getting ready for a fight, damn it.
Well done. Thank you for the raid. Ben coming in right at the end there. I was looking, I thought, do we? It's like, no, I'll save it for next week. That way I could actually make up a bit of a map of the town square.
And here you are saying, oh, yeah, this bit's just going to be role-playing to you, kind of, and just like...
So next week we will obviously be entering into a combat situation next week with some of the Red Brand ruffians of Phandalin. And this one individual, I mean, he appears to be part of the Red Brand, you're not entirely sure, but indeed. Thank you so much for the raid, Armin. Cheers for coming in. We had another raid come in before as well, Tabletop Arcade. You guys are awesome. Cheers for coming in and rating us as well. My name is Evldoa. I'm from New Zealand. These guys are all from Australia. We are generally an oceanic channel. We do have the occasional people from across the waters.
Don't forget Tassie. Come on, not part of Australia.
Well, I mean, I would say at this point, Taz is probably more of a part of Australia than Australia. I mean, you guys don't exist technically.
Yeah, true.
It's true.
But we are mainly an oceanic stream. We do a lot of D&D. We do map making, things of that nature. Do some gaming on occasion as well. I haven't done that for a while, but we do it. But at the moment, we're currently running Lost Mines of Phandelver. We've just hit episode 4, just come to the conclusion of episode 4. Our adventurers have just found themselves in a little bit of hot water, it seems, perhaps. I mean, I think they're going to have some fun anyway.
It's all Arcos's fault.
I don't know about that. It might be Arcos's fault. It could be Zanx's fault. Who knows? Could be Youngblood's fault.
I'll go with Arcos.
But all raids are good raids indeed. Small, large, doesn't matter. But anywho, we're going to go back to our starting do free flip. And we're going to do our usual, before we're going to get some moments from our players and from the chat. If you guys have had any moments, I know there was a few clips tonight, so be on the lookout in the Twitter and in the Gilded, because those clips will probably make it into there. Those if the clips are suitable, they may make it into the YouTube Shorts, which is entirely possible. But we will start with, who shall we start with this evening? We will start with Zankus, because he's been a cunt all night. But Zankus, aka Trashman, a moment from Zankus, a moment that stood out from you about your character, and a moment that stood out for you about another character or DM, whichever the case may be.
Okay, so for Zankus, the way he ostracizes himself from everybody.
I think you're doing it well too, though. Like the role play of it, as much as people might find that they might think that comes easy, just to play that arsehole character who doesn't really want to talk to anyone. It can have its problems too. Like it can be kind of hard.
There's been a lot of times where I've second guessed myself, like with the bartender bringing the food up and not accepting gold. First thought for me is I'd go over paid for it anyway, but
yeah.
that's not what this character does.
Exactly. So it does have its moments, but I think you're doing well.
So the thing that I remember the most is the Alan Hobbs one that Grim did. That was clipped by Mina, I believe, or the
Giggle and hoot.
That's right.
Yeah,
Giggles and
that's
hoots. Yes, that was a good moment. Is that it from you, Mr. Trashman?
Yep.
Indeed. We will then move on to, speaking of giggles and hoots, aka who, Mr. Erico. A moment from you, from your character. Anything that stood out for you that you did tonight, and then someone else.
Just being like holding back and watching stuff. As much as I want to throw, I kind of got this thing where I want to throw myself in, but I'm just watching stuff, and that's a hard thing at the moment to do. And the ball bearings when they went missing, I've lost my balls, and that conversation in the hallway just done me. That was
Yes, there were some very good moments tonight. And speaking of missing balls, Arcos.
Hey now. Hey. So tonight, from other people, who talking about like he likes to chase his food around with a fork. And I guess tying into me that whole stitch up with Youngblood shit being in my room, that whole sequence of events, JJ's part in it, and I'm like, oh fucking hell, he's left me holding the bag. And, there's no way they're gonna trust me if they find that shit on me. So I'm like, I'm gonna do something.
And yes, I did that on purpose.
Yeah, of course you did.
And yes, I pulled that moment out of my butt because it just felt good at the time.
Yeah.
It just felt right. It was like, fuck it, why not? And of course, Mr. JJ, Mr. Youngblood, a moment from you as a character. Anything stood out that you did tonight, which you thought was very, very cool or interesting, or something you did well as a character, and from someone else?
Me just cracked the shits and tossed in the room. I thought just acting like a damn kid, tossing his room upside down over something like he got robbed. A few things. He's probably been robbed before, but doesn't want to admit it. You know, he's just fucking tossing his room up and down, fucking pissed off. He got robbed, but like he didn't lock his door and stuff, so partly is a little bit his fault. But he doesn't give a fuck. He's just tossing his room up, fucking yelling and screaming. I thought I'd like fuck it, might as well go along with it.
Hey, why not? I mean, it definitely fit the situation.
Other people, as Grim said, who was chasing his food around. That was hilarious. This is kind of me as well, but when Bugs asked me to put the cup around his head, so I just went and done it, didn't give a fuck. And him drinking, just his whole drunk, his like kind of tipsy drunk moments where trying to drink the beer and making a mess, and the old man, can't remember his name, like what the fuck's going on type thing. I thought it was hilarious that he still did that while the old man was there.
Yep, it was great.
And yeah, just Trashy is being him. Love his character. Like, and I'm trying to play off it, doing my thing, like trying to break him and telling the jokes and saying, "No, I'm trying to be nice to you. I'm making you even more mad." Isn't that what you like? I love our back and forths and just Trashy being Trashy with his character.
No, I think you're all doing well. That's it. Yeah. So for me tonight, obviously my usual thing is, like I said, I love to improv. So I work. A lot of the stuff I did not have planned. Like, I didn't plan to have you guys have stuff stolen from you. I definitely didn't plan to have Arcos ending up with the shit in his bags. It just seemed right in the moment to have that happen. Again, you still don't know who did it or why, but there'll be that reason may come up at some point, perhaps, maybe not. But moments from you guys, I think I've got one from everyone tonight. Definitely, as I said, for Trash, for you, and these are more player moments and character moments. Like I said, just playing a character that is is standoffish and as much of a prick as he can be, but in the clutch moment, he generally is there to help, because he does want to see people die unnecessarily, but at the same time, if he can save his own skin, he'll fucking do it. So that playing that type of character can be a little harsh at times, but I think you're doing it reasonably well. JJ, again, dude, your RP is coming along so cool. The suggestion that you tossed your room and got upset and then you rolled with it and just played the part, I think you did that exceptionally well. The interaction with you and Grim, when you found out your stuff was missing, and then Zankus comes in and says, well, ask Arcos, he probably took it, and straight to his door, and the conversation on the opposite sides of the door was brilliant. For Grim, obviously, Grim, you're a great role player anyway. You've always done well. I like your characters across the board. All your characters I've always had a lot of fun DMing with. And this character's a little different than the others you've made. All the characters I think of, especially like in P2, you got that really standoffish, timid character. I think when I was in Ice Spire, that character was kind of timid and standoffish and unsure of himself, and then you got this real cocky, fucking, little bit more in your face type of character, and it's a little different for you. So I enjoy watching that come out. And Era is a relatively new player as well. The little things, fluttering up to the roof of the inn just to observe, see what's happening out in the street. The rare steak thing was definitely a good moment as well. I love that. Not eating the mushrooms. Like, the moment I described the mushrooms, it was just like, no, I pushed the plate away. It's like, nope. But hell no. And then looking through the vegetables for more mushrooms when you got your steak, although that was brilliant too. Just again, little nuances from players can make a character, and those little things, all those little things can be put together and make a character really cool. I think you're all doing it with your characters, which is great. Chat, that is pretty much it from us. The last thing we're going to do, of course, is something that we've just started doing because I have three other content creators in the chat. Trashy's just Trashy. Trashy hangs out with us all the time. You'll see him every Wednesday. You'll see him on Sundays with Vampire the Masquerade and P2 when we restart that. So Trashman's is a long-standing figure in our community, has been around for a long time. We will go over to JJ Aussie Punk first. So JJ, again, a little bit about you, your channel, what people can find over there, what's happening, what's coming up. I know we've had some exciting things happen today over on in the JJ world.
Yeah, so I'm JJ Aussie Punk. You got the thing down there, up there. Don't remember, but yeah, Twitch is there. I run my own wrestling e-fed, so it's like my own company. People wrestle, RP, all that kind of good stuff. Had a show today. In the storyline, I lost my company. And I don't run my own company anymore. Storyline, so that's fun.
It was cool. It was a bloody good match, though.
It was a really good match. This
Saturday.
Saturday.
No, it's Vince.
Yeah. It's kind of weird how that came along. Didn't even think of that. Into the storyline, why Vince is lost his too, but yeah. Got a pay-per-view coming up this weekend, Saturday around 12 p.m. I'm thinking doing it, called Full in Reverse. It's a Royal Rumble type pay-per-view, so I've been doing some Royal Rumble matches. Got some really cool title matches. So yeah.
Awesome. So mate, the links in the chat there too, guys. Go check out Mr. JJ Aussie Punk. Again, a mod for me, a friend of mine, his second time playing with us now on stream. So he's doing exceptionally well. Little anxious at times, but he's taking it in stride. He's loving it, which is really awesome. Down below, right here, Mr. Grim Realities.
Hey, that's me, Grim Realities. I haven't streamed for a bit. Today I told work that I had a gut full of work on Thursday, so it'll probably still be a while, but hopefully I'll get back to streaming on Thursdays. Due to old point and click adventures, I'm like halfway through old 90s adventure called Sam Max Hit the Road. I'm thinking of doing some board game content, maybe. We'll see how we go, and I might be working on a little bit of something for this channel, but we'll see.
Yes, definitely keen to get Mr. Grimm here as a guest DM on a mini adventure one-shot type deal for us here as well, because I'm looking forward to playing a game as we're having Mr. Grimm as a DM. So lastly but not leastly, down below Mr. Grimm there we have Mr. Errorcode. Error, would you like to let everyone know what's happening with you?
Yeah, that's Errorcode with a O, not a zero. Variety content creator, driving games, shooting games, team member of the E-Geekly, and we'll be doing some Fortnite with Miss Cannon from the team on Friday evening at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So you can just stop in and say hi, guys. You'll probably see Evil and Grim there as well, playing some shooty stuff too.
I will most likely be there. I've got nothing else on Friday. And yeah, so definitely go check out these guys. When you see them live, hang out with them, shoot the shit, hit the follow stuff, catch them up on their other socials as well. Era is on YouTube as JJ, you on YouTube as well? Yes, no, not really. But
yeah, I've got one, but I don't use it.
Yeah, Era's definitely on YouTube. He's got some really cool shorts on there, so go check those out. 100%.
I got some interesting ones on YouTube.
We do music as well.
Yes.
Just forgot about that one. We do music as well.
Music as well, indeed. I was hanging out with Era doing music last night, and he came up with some couple of really cool tracks. In fact, Era is responsible for the track that we use for Paradigm 2 Shadows Embrace, which will be starting in a few weeks, again, hopefully. So definitely come back and see us then. Tomorrow, guys, more map stuff. We're going to do another map. We've been doing a mixture of Ice Spire Peak and Dragon Heist maps. So we're doing another map tomorrow night, and then I'll be hanging out with Era on Friday. As I said, go hang out with Era Friday doing some Fortnite stuff. Saturday, probably no stream, as I don't normally stream on a Saturday, and then back here Sunday for Vampire the Masquerade. Our next episode, which I think is episode 9, We are getting to the nitty-gritties. That very well could be the final episode. We're not 100% sure. It's really going to come down to roleplay and what sort of happens. But a bit of exciting stuff happened last week. So if you haven't seen it, go check out the VODs on my YouTube. Exclamation point socials in the chat. There we go. That gives you the YouTube, the Twitter, and the Guilded server. Which is, we don't run a Discord server anymore, we run a Guilded server, so if you want to hang out and become part of the community, those are all the links that you need. We are now going to raid somebody, because that's what we should do as good D&D players. Well, D&D channel. Who we shall raid is a whole different question. I think what we might do is let's go find a D&D channel that has less than 10 viewers and give them a raid. I think that's a good idea. Someone, an Aussie would be good. They've got 30 viewers. Holy shit. Let's see if there's anyone actually on. So we got, what's that one? RPG, bottom cast, world building. I'd rather be an actual game if we can. Well, bugger me, there's actually not very many people on. Someone's doing a Spelljammer 5e unboxing. Not overly interested in that. Spelljammer doesn't really interest me, unfortunately. Well, it appears we don't have many people on the D&D thing with less than 10 viewers. We might be raiding either GM Workshop. We've got Liam Jaws doing some D&D charity game. Has anyone else got anyone on their list that they would like to see us raid? Because we might have to look at someone that's not playing D&D tonight, guys. Otherwise it'll be GM Workshop.
I've only got people not playing D&D.
How many of the EGIC teams on?
There's that evil guy that we could raid him, mate.
We could raid him, but he's a prat, man. Like, you don't want to raid that. You don't want to raid that guy.
Okay, well, you've got Element Star, you've got Star Mystique, and you've got Miss Cannon. Cannon's doing Fortnite, Star's doing Dinkum, and Ali's doing Satisfactory.
I don't think we've raided Ali before, have we? I know I've raided Star before, and I've raided Miss Cannon. We might raid Ali Monster. I don't think I've raided her. I mean, she's got reasonable viewership, but fuck it, we'll raid a Geekly team member. Oh, she's been going for 6 hours. Holy crap!
Yeah, it's a big one today.
That's an interesting one. This looks so funny.
Why not?
Can I bring you down one more?
Why not? And for those that don't know, I've kept it fairly well quiet. I mean, a few people know already, but main reason I'm looking at raiding eGeekly team members because quite some time ago I did apply to join the eGeekly team. Nothing's official as yet, but I am going to be having a catch up with them at some stage to meet more of them in a more social format, and we'll see what happens after that, I guess. So we're gonna raid Alley Monster.
There's a bunch of cool people.
They are a bunch of cool people. I've been hanging out with like Miss Cannon and those guys, and they are really cool bunch of people. Definitely pay to hang out with them. But that's us, guys. We will see you tomorrow doing some more map stuff. Thank you so much. Bye bye.